U.S. Women's Open starts at 9 a.m. ESPN, full 18 holes. Annika Sorenstam and Pat Hurst. For John and Harold, I'm Matt. We'll see.
And we are at Yankee Stadium. I'm John Miller with Joe Morgan. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, the Mets and the Yankees, presented by Taco Bell. And the big crowd, 55,000 plus. And they've been waiting for a while. This game was scheduled to have started a little over an hour ago. The New York Mets are getting ready. There is leadoff man Jose Reyes, who had an excellent game yesterday. And he really, truly is the igniter for the Mets, one of the most exciting players in the game today. Meanwhile, Alex Rodriguez, one of the great veteran players, the reigning MVP in the American League. And he's having a smile over there in the Yankee dugout. Derek Jeter walking along, and the Yankees, and they've had a hard time. They got 3 of their regulars on the disabled list right now, including Robinson Cano, who was just placed on the disabled list earlier this week, joining Hideki Matsui and Gary Sheffield, 2 of their top RBI men. So they're a little bit short of some RBI men tonight. Tonight they're asking Jarrett Wright to be the stopper to win a big ball game for them in this Subway Series. Jarrett Wright will take them out here momentarily for the Yankees. We'd like to welcome back to ESPN now Bonnie Bernstein. She is on the field with more on Jarrett Wright. Bonnie.
Hey there, John. Well, Jarrett's hoping start number 13 for him will be of the lucky variety. He's looked very solid the last couple of times out, but quite frankly, the big knock on him all year is that he hasn't been able to get past the 6th inning. Now, in Wright's defense, Joe Torre said, I didn't pull Jarrett his last 2 starts because I didn't like his stuff. It was because I didn't like the matchups. And as far as Jarrett goes, well, he's had 2 major shoulderies since 2000, so he really knows how to put this all into perspective. He said in the last couple of years, there have been 3 times I've pitched and it hurt so bad I thought my career was over, but I'm still playing. He said, I'm not about innings, I'm about putting up zeros, and Wright has done just that, John. Last 11 innings pitched, he's only given up 1 earned run. Back to you upstairs.
All right, Bonnie, thanks very much. And Jarrett Wright, and it's interesting, he's averaging less than 6 innings per start and has not gone more than 6 innings in any start this year. The Yankees have taken the field other than Jarrett Wright. He is not yet out on the field. But let's take a look now at the New York Mets batting order presented by Taco Bell. Jose Reyes, who went through a little bit of a slump earlier this week. 2 hits yesterday. He's at short. Paulo Duca, all-star. He is the catcher. Carlos Beltran, he'll be an all-star as well. He's in center field. 22 home runs. Carlos Delgado back in the lineup for the first time in several days, the designated hitter. David Wright is at third base, an all-star, having a big year. Cliff Floyd just back in the disabled list this weekend. It'll be Jose Valentin. He's been doing extremely well at second base. Julio Franco, the ancient one, is at first base, batting 8th. And in right field, Xavier Nady, not originally in the lineup, he replaces Andy Chavez, who came down with some flu-like symptoms. So Nady in right field, batting 9th. And you see Reyes, Loduca, the first 2 Mets out on the field, getting ready. The big crowd, and there is Jarrett Wright, who certainly is no stranger to pitching big games in big ballparks. Jarrett Wright, who is 4-5 this year. His ERA, Joe, is the same as the Yankees' team ERA, which is 3rd best in the American League.
Well, as Bonnie said, you know, he's trying to put up zeros. You know, he mixed in a few more sinkers now with his usual good stuff, but one of the problems he has is that he gets a high pitch count early in the ball game because he has trouble putting the hitters away. He'll get ahead of the hitters, but he hasn't been able to put them away, and therefore his pitch count continues to rise, and by the 5th inning he's usually about done. At least that's the way Joe Torre and his staff sees it, because he has only gone to the 6th inning 1 time in his starts. And it'll be interesting to see how he gets through the first couple of innings, simply because if they make him throw a lot of pitches, we'll see if he can even go past the 5th inning. If not, maybe he'll have one of those games where everything's going for him and he can get through the 5th inning.
Well, the Yankees and their fans having to console themselves with the fact that over the years in interleague play, they have dominated the Mets. But here lately, the Mets have turned the thing around. And with a win tonight, they'll win the season series from Joe Torre's group. 4 games to 2. They're leading 3 games to 2 right now. There's Willie Randolph, former bench coach with Joe Torre, former Yankee 3rd base coach, and for many, many years, Yankee 2nd baseman and one of the best in the game when he played here. now in the opposite dugout, and his Mets had the best record in the National League. So here we go. Sunday night baseball, Yankees Mets, and a fastball for a called strike from Jared Wright to Jose Reyes. Reyes hitting .291, 8 homers, 10 triples, which leads the National League. Also leads the league in steals with 34, leads the league in runs, and that's up and away.
You know, one of the knocks on him his last couple of years was he didn't have a high on base percentage. But that doesn't really matter to Willie Randolph. He says this kid, when he gets on base, he ignites everything, and he's an offense all unto himself if he can get on base. So you'll take that in lieu of a high on base percentage, because a lot of guys that have high on base percentages can't steal bases, can't move themselves around as he does.
And that's low and inside. 2-2 the count to Jose Reyes, trying to get the Mets going. They had a 4-game losing streak that ended here yesterday. They lost 3 in a row to the Red Sox and then lost here on Friday night, and Reyes was just shut down. In center field, Johnny Damon, 1 away.
Yeah, he only had a bunt single in that series against the Red Sox, which obviously, as I said, if he doesn't get on base, he can't make things happen. And they needed some help because the other hitters were just not putting up the big numbers. And remember, Carlos Delgado was out of the lineup for a while.
He was out, and Cliff Floyd was out.
But I think Carlos is the key. I really think so. He's a left-handed bat to balance all the right-handed hitters they have in this lineup.
Here's Paulo Duque. When they were an expansion team in 1962 and on their way to 120 losses, they dubbed them the Amazons, the Amazing Mets. And in many ways, they've been amazing this year because they've had a lot of injury problems. Yeah. 2 of their top 5 starters have been on the disabled list. Floyd's been missing. They've had Beltran's been on the disabled list at times. Delgado's missed games. And that is out number 2. Loduca flies out to Melky Cabrera in shallow left, and that is out number 2.
Here you see Jeter and A-Rod on the left side. They're both going to the All-Star game, and they both have 2 Gold Gloves. Of course, Rodriguez's Gold Glove came when he was a shortstop with the Texas Rangers.
Here's Carlos Beltran, and a curveball is too low. Beltran will be the starting center fielder for the National League in the All-Star game, having an excellent first half. 22 homers, 62 batted in. And that is up against the wall. Damon plays the carom, and it's a double for Beltran, his 19th double of the year.
Well, it's a high fastball, and it looks like it's away, and he just reaches out and pulls it up the gap in right center field. I mean, he drives the ball now, and this is what he did a couple of years ago. So it's a fastball that tails away. I mean, he nails it in the right center field. Well, maybe it's a changeup because it takes a little bit off, but he drills it up the gap in right center field.
So Beltran gets himself into scoring position for Carlos Delgado. Delgado had a little oblique muscle strain in his right rib cage. He first felt it last weekend in a game in Toronto, but sort of aggravated it at Fenway Park in a game on Wednesday and missed each of the last 3 games. Big, strong slugger. And he's hit a lot of home runs here at Yankee Stadium. I mean, Yankee Stadium, they call it the house that Ruth built, and they gave a short home run porch in right field for the Babe. Delgado has reached that short porch many a time over the years.
But John, one of the problems with that oblique muscle is that you swing and miss, and you can re-injure it. And that's the risk you take by coming back as quickly as Delgado has. He says he feels fine, but you'll have to wait and get under game action before you really know.
I asked him before the game, I said, is there anything you can't do because of that for the game tonight? He said, I'm not even thinking about stuff like that right now.
No.
I'm just, it feels much better, and I'm going to go out there and let it fly.
Well, I think you have to build, one thing you do have to do, John, when you've had a rib cage injury, is be a little more selective at the plate. You have to make sure that you can put the bat on the ball. You can't swing and miss a lot, or as I said, you can re-injure. 1-1. Curveball, 2-1. David Wright, a right-handed hitter, but
one of the best in the National League, is on deck. There's David Wright. The Mets have already scored more runs in the first inning of their games this year, the first innings, than all of last year. And we got Yankee fans and Met fans doing competing cheers at Yankee Stadium. There's Beltran, ready to run with 2 down. So that might have hurt.
Yeah, he tried to check his swing there. And let's see if he just checks his swing with his hand or it's his front side. Well, he just holds it with his hand. That may not have bothered him too much, John. That was more of a check swing with just his hands.
And it gave no indication of wincing in pain or anything.
You'll know if it hurts.
Eli Soler, the young Mets pitcher, in the dugout. 2-2 the count. Strike 3 on the inside. Tim McClellan with that delayed call, and Delgado wasn't so sure. So Jared Wright strands Beltran. Now the Yankees are coming up.
Sometimes paying more just doesn't make sense.
Excuse me, can I pay more for this?
What?
The same is true for your wireless service. Save big with 50% off your first 3-month service on nationwide shared plans. Plus, get unlimited nights and weekends starting at 5 p.m. and free mobile to mobile. Get up to 5 Nokia phones for a penny. Or choose cool Motorola, Samsung, or Sony Ericsson phones at incredible prices. Why pay more? iWireless. Wireless made easy.
Menards is the place where you'll always save big money. Blast away dirt with a Karcher pressure washer. The 2400 PSI unit features a 5-horsepower Honda engine, pneumatic tires, 3 nozzles, and a hose, only $295. Extra storage is easy with Rubbermaid storage units. They feature durable, weather-resistant construction. The 6.5-foot tall vertical unit is $229. The versatile slide lid is just $288.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome to my casa. It's your boy B-Can. Here's my foyer. This is my game room. This right here's my new suede couch. To the pool, baby. These are my ladies. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Hey, man, who are you?
Steve.
You part of the crew?
No, I'm just here for the Bud Light.
Who gave you that? Wednesday, did you give him that?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Yeah, this is where I spend most of my... Man, put down my papaya!
Joe Torre with Ron Guidry, his pitching coach, right alongside in the Yankee dugout. The Mets nothing, and the Yankees are coming to bat now with number 18, Johnny Damon, the former Red Sox. And then Derek Jeter right behind the Yankees batting order. Presented by Taco Bell. Johnny Damon hitting .294, having a fine season in center field. Derek Jeter, a big year, .334 at shortstop. Jason Giambi, a real big year, 24 homers, 63 batted in, the DH. Alex Rodriguez, and it's been disappointing, although not bad numbers really. Jorge Posada, the switch hitter, catching, .284 average. Bernie Williams, the veteran, playing a lot with the absence of Matsui in Sheffield. It's Andy Phillips at first base, hitting 7th. Melky Cabrera in left field, and Nick Green is at second base with Robinson Cano on the disabled list. And the count is ball 1 to Johnny Damon from Eli Soler, listed at 26 years old in the Mets press guide, and that's a strike call to the inside.
John, Soler has really had a lot of problems in the first inning. In his starts, he's only one time has he gone 1, 2, 3 in the first inning. So you have to watch him. If he can get off to a good start, he usually pitches a pretty fine ball game, but he doesn't usually get off to a good start.
It's softly to third. Wright was playing shallow, and there's one away. Johnny Damon retired.
Well, he changes speeds a lot with his fastball and his curveball, so his fastball becomes a changeup. He doesn't have overpowering stuff, as you'll see, but he also will nibble when he gets in a little trouble. So we'll just have to see how he changes his pattern. I mean, after he relaxes into the big leagues, you would think a guy can change his pattern of pitching. And we'll see how he changes here in the first inning, because, as I said, he has had only one inning outing where he's gone 1, 2, 3 in the first inning.
Well, he's got 1 so far in this inning as Derek Jeter, and he's hoping Jeter will be 2, 0-1 to Jeter. But Jeter's been a pretty tough out this year. A .334 in batting average, 5 homers, 46 driven in, also 15 steals. And that goes back out of play.
Well, this we'll get a chance to see here. He's got Jeter 0-2. And when you're a good pitcher, you have a chance and you know how to put hitters away. And we'll see if he nibbles and nibbles, and before you know it, you're back to an even count. But that's what happens a lot of times with guys that nibble.
There's that curveball, but it's too low. Yeah. Taken nicely by Jeter. 1-2. Jeter hitting .411 in this ballpark against the Mets in interleague play. And also hit .444 in the 2 games played here in the 2000 World Series. Now Reyes, here's the long throw. Offline, and it's a base hit for Jeter.
Well, there goes that chance to go 1-2-3. Again, he got ahead of Jeter, but he threw the curveball in the middle of the plate. You know, he had him 0-2, threw a curveball away. Now watch where this pitch ends up. Curveball right in the middle of the plate, and Jeter pulls it in the hole. Nice attempt by Reyes, but Jeter runs well, and Reyes didn't have time to set himself to make an accurate throw. But a good play there actually by Franco to come off the bag and take the ball, make sure it didn't get away from him.
Well, Julio Franco, he's learned a few things.
Yeah, he's been around long enough.
The 26 years or so that since he first arrived in the big leagues.
But they're putting a shift on John. We with a runner at first base here against Giambi.
3 infielders to the right of second. The third baseman, David Wright, is now the shortstop. The shortstop, Reyes, is now the second baseman. Giambi leads the American League with 24 home runs. He's also very particular up there at the plate. He gets a lot of walks. ISO there from the stretch. Curveball. Did he swing? Well, Tim McClellan, the plate umpire, made the ruling himself.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's got a beautiful curveball when he throws it with good rotation like that. Because that ball started well up in the strike zone, and by the time it got to Giambi, it was out of the strike zone.
1 ball, 1 strike. Now Jeter has 15 steals this year. Second on the Yankees, and he's back to the bag safely. Johnny Damon has 16 to lead the club. Something that Damon added when he came here. Gives the Yankees a little more speed at the top of the batting order. And he's been stealing a lot more bases this year than he was stealing for the Red Sox. 1-1 the count in the dirt, knocked down by Loduca, and holding it first is Derek Jeter. 2-1 the count. Yankees trying to jump ahead here in the first inning. Johnny Damon grounded out softly to the third baseman to start the inning. Back in the Yankee dugout. And Damon, you know, one of the sort of the conventional wisdom about him coming to Yankee Stadium, well, his power numbers are going to go down. It's going to be tougher to hit here than Fenway with the friendly left field wall. Well, he's having an excellent first half. And that is too low. 3-1 to Giambi. Alex Rodriguez on deck.
Well, you can see that he's true to the scouting report. He just kind of nibbles when he gets guys on base. He hasn't thrown a strike to Jason Giambi. Giambi actually swung at a ball to get the count 1 strike.
And a walk for Giambi, putting 2 men on for Alex Rodriguez. 13. You heard Alex being introduced by by the way, the backup public address announcer is here because Bob Shepard, the legendary voice of Yankee Stadium, got laryngitis this weekend. Can you imagine?
Well, you could see that Julio Franco went to the mound with Loduca to be a translator there to make sure that Soler understood everything that Loduca wanted to tell him. And I think he had to tell him, you can't nibble every pitch. You're going to have to make them put the ball in play.
So here is Alex Rodriguez. He hit a home run here yesterday. Had 17 home runs for the year. The Yankees in the last 6 games have failed miserably as a team in situations such as this.
And that's not just Alex Rodriguez. That's the entire ball club.
Deep into center, but playable for Beltran. Both runners tag up, And Giambi went halfway to second. The throw back to first, and he is out. It's a double play. Giambi was halfway to second and belatedly turned around and got doubled up, although the Yankees are arguing the call. Torrey's going to go out and have a few words.
My dearest Lisa, as we enter our first day apart, I already miss you terribly. Believe me, honey, it's no picnic out here. But don't you worry about me. Somehow, I'll get through it. And know in your heart, I will see you soon. Though, I just can't say when. Patrick.
You'll find it hard to come back. The 244 horsepower Pilot from Honda.
The old fake punt.
They never work.
Oh, it'll work.
They don't work.
It'll work.
Run the fake punt. It's a bad idea.
No, it's a bad idea. So you let Eddie George go. Get a water.
Think you have what it takes to coach? Introducing the new NFL strategy game. Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
I've been to Newark, Hackensack, 3 meetings back-to-back.
Conference in Maine, put faces to names.
Seminar, Lombard, big stack of business cards.
Stayed at Comfort Suites, got a hot breakfast free.
Warehouse inventory, Foreman had a funny story.
Big meeting, New Rochelle, told my boss all went well.
Everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
To get 3 free nights at these Choice hotels, get the no annual fee Choice Privileges Visa credit card. For reservations and more details, visit choicehotels.com. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Weiner. This is a SportsCenter 30 at 30 update. There'll be a playoff at the U.S. Women's Open in Rhode Island. Annika Sorenstam just missed that birdie putt on 18 that would have won it. She'll go head-to-head with Pat Hurst in an 18-hole playoff, 9 a.m. ESPN. Meanwhile, both the White Sox and the Mets each claimed 6 players in the 2006 All-Star game. Next SportsCenter after the game. Constant updates on mobile ESPN.
No score after 1 inning. Carlos Beltran had to go into deep center field to catch the fly ball by Alex Rodriguez. And he actually overshot his first relay man there, but they still were able to get a double play.
Well, he threw it to second base because he didn't want Giambi to move up, so he made the right play. But the problem is the rotation of the umpires. I don't understand why the first base umpire wasn't there to call that play.
David Wright, first ball swinging. Right center field, Johnny Damon. And there is one away. David Wright is quickly retired.
See, this guy should go out, I thought, but the first base umpire is going out. He's making the call. And he tries to get back over here, but he can't. And see, the guy in right field just stays out there. And I still don't quite understand that. Because he was in a bad position to make the call. As you see, Giambi gets back, but he's in bad position when Franco makes the tag. He's over here someplace, so he can't see it. That was not good rotation by the umpires.
Cliff Floyd, and that is ball 1. I mean, the third base umpire had to kind of hold his ground because there was a runner going to third. The plate umpire had to hold his ground in case something happened and the runner headed home. I think that's the problem. They just don't have enough umpires out there.
Now, they have enough umpires. They just didn't rotate properly to be in the right position. Because I was thinking that the second base umpire would go out and call that, whether it was safe caught or not. That's what they're doing. And then the first base umpire would be in position to call the play at first base.
But you know what happens now? I mean, right now with nobody on base, second base umpire Larry Poncino is playing out in shallow center field. He's not playing, he's umpiring out in shallow center field. And with a runner at first base, or in that case first and second, there you see Poncino out there in shallow center field. And but with a runner on base or runners on base, he gets inside the bag, like between the pitcher and second base. That changeup, Cliff Floyd, he was fooled.
Well, the one thing that the Mets are looking at is that with Cliff Floyd, he was been injured. He was just starting to swing the bat well when he got injured again. And they're looking for him to have a big second half because this guy's a proven big league hitter. He's a proven RBI man. So you expect him to come along and be able to carry the ball club for stretches at a time the second half.
Now 3-2, slider missing. But I'm in 100% agreement with you. He was not in position to make that call to first base. Now, from where he was standing, I could see why he thought Giambi was out.
Yeah.
But Giambi should have been called safe.
Yeah, but like I said, the rotation wasn't made properly there.
3-2. Up the middle, and that's a base hit for Cliff Floyd. Floyd, who sprained his ankle and put him on the disabled list, just back off the DL this weekend. The Mets, second in the National League runs per game, second in home runs. This may be the most powerful Mets team when it's all said and done in Mets history. They lead the league in extra base hits, steals. So they have a lot of weapons. They can play a little ball game with you, and Jose Reyes can break up, open a game all by himself just with his legs.
Well, they're 84 out of 102 as far as stolen bases are concerned, which is an excellent percentage.
So they've stolen 84, and there goes Floyd getting a quick break, and he makes it. Heads up base running. Posada's snap throw is too late.
Well, I think that's what happens when you have a guy like Reyes at the top. Kind of rubs off a little bit, as we were talking about the White Sox last year, and Posednik coming over, getting them to move and be alert, take the extra base, be ready to go at all times, and a good base running play there by Cliff Floyd on the wild pitch.
13 years in the major leagues. Cliff Floyd he was off to a slow start anyway. Then he went on the disabled list. He said he might have been suicidal if the Mets had also been a losing team with all of that going against him this year. Valentin with a high foul that will go into the upper deck off the right field line.
Well, you definitely have to be careful with Valentin in this ballpark because he has a lot of power. He can hit the ball out of any ballpark, especially the short porch in right field here. So if you allow him to pull the ball, his fly balls will go out of this ballpark.
And he'd been reborn as a Met. 284 average, 8 homers, 26 batted in. Last year he was hurt most of the year as a Dodger and never did hit even when he did play.
The Dodgers signed him to replace Adrian Beltre, didn't they?
There's a base hit to right field, and Floyd's going to be waved in. Here comes the throw by Bernie Williams, not nearly in time. Bernie does not have a right fielder's arm, not even close. 1-0 Mets.
Well, if you're the Mets, the good thing about that play is that the ball was hit on the ground, so Floyd can take off immediately, and the ground ball obviously takes a little longer to get to the outfielder than a line drive does. And as you mentioned, they did not have a chance to get him at the plate. But again, Valentin's a good hitter when he puts the ball in play. You know, his problem's been strikeouts, but when he puts the ball in play, he is a good hitter. You can see the throw not nearly in time as Floyd comes on, but see the ball's hit and immediately he can take off. If it's a line drive, you have to make it go through, but since it was a ground ball, he could take off immediately and he was able to score easily.
You could also see Andy Phillips, the first baseman, was not set up for a cutoff. Julio Franco now. Valentin with the RBI, 1-0, so Floyd singled. And very opportunistically took that extra base. That was not one of those obvious take second base wild pitches.
No.
He made that play.
Excellent base running play.
Julio Franco. And that's a foul out of play off the right field line. Franco's been the pinch hitter deluxe for the Mets in National League play. Does not often play at first base because Carlos Delgado's an everyday player. Broke into the big leagues in 1982 with the Philadelphia Phillies. He's 47. And late next month, Joe, he'll turn 48. And Julio Franco, I mean, by baseball terms, he's an old man. His average, 288. That's into the gap in right center field. That's going to roll through to the wall. Valentin digging for third. Damon cuts it off. Valentin being waved home. Here comes a throw, and he is out at the plate. Valentin went in standing up. And what a throw by Nick Green from shallow center field.
And that's what made the play, John. I thought Valentin was going to be able to score, but Nick Green made a perfect throw all the way in the air, right where Posada could catch it and block the plate. If he throws it offline at all, he would have been able to score, but an excellent play. I mean, this ball's in the gap. You think right away was going to score. Now watch, the ball bounces back off the concrete wall to Johnny Damon. He throws to Green. Now look at this throw, all the way in the air right there. And somebody did not, I'm looking, they didn't look like they were telling Valentin to slide. See, Valentin, I think he's surprised that the ball is there. He should be up there telling him to slide.
Xavier Nady was the on-deck hitter, and he was over there, but
he wasn't even involved in the play. And he should have been involved in the play. You can see that Valentin was surprised when Posada caught the ball, and he just tried to run through him.
So Xavier Nady may have been just as surprised.
Yeah.
Here is Xavier Nady. He was not originally in the starting lineup. Nady hitting .262, 11 home runs, 27 batted in, former San Diego Padre. And he's got a fracture in his right wrist, and he's been playing with it. And he had it x-rayed on Friday, played yesterday. 1 ball, no strikes. That slider from Jared Wright is strike.
Well, let's see. You see Valentin comes around. Well, you can see Nady back here waving down, but he should be up in here telling him that the throw is coming to the plate. And you can see he's kind of standing there. You see Valentin kind of look at him, well, what was I supposed to do? I mean, he waved once, but you have to be at the plate giving a definitive get down. And a lot of times you even point to which side you could slide to.
2-1 the count to Xavier Nady.
That was the 2,543rd hit in his career for Julio Franco, over 2,500 hits.
2 balls and a strike to Nady. 2 out. And then slider down and away. 3-1 the count now. Jose Reyes is on deck. So Manny Octa was clearly waving him home.
Yeah, I mean,
we were waving him home from up here too.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad call to throw it. And look, they made a great relay throw, but I think what really hurt them was the ball hit the bottom of the wall and it bounced back sharply to Damon.
And the sinker is too low. Nady gets a walk.
If it hits the padded wall out there, Damon would have had to go get it. But it hits the bottom. You see, he looks there. He looks back at home. He doesn't think there's a play. Now he sees Posada there, and he tries to run over him. Now watch it. It hits the bottom of the thing and shoots back towards Damon. Look at that, perfectly. And he picks it up, makes a good relay. If that ball hits the padding, it wouldn't have bounced back to him. He hits Nick Green. Nick Green makes a great throw to the plate. And it surprises you. I mean, look at here. I don't care what we say. He may have waved once, but you're supposed to be up in here telling the guy to slide.
Throw down to second by Posada. Nice save there by Jeter. Posada bounced that one in there, and Franco is back to the bag. Two men on, 2 men out. And Jose Reyes trying to be an RBI man here. Just what, a week or so ago, Reyes was the hottest man on the planet, and he had several days where you just could not get him out.
They went at 3 times. He went 4 for 5 or something, back-to-back 4 for 5 days.
I think and he had a 5 for 5 game in there too, for good measure.
Well,
right center field, Bernie Williams still going, off the base of the wall, and it stays there. Franco scores. Right behind him, Nady. A triple for Reyes. 3-0 Mets.
And you can see the difference in what the reaction of the ball there. They had to go to the wall to get that ball, whereas the other ball that Julio Franco hit, it bounced back to Damon. Well, it looked like it was an off-speed pitch inside. Let's take a look. Yeah, it is. It's a curveball inside, and he ripped it. You can can see him hustle around the third base. He made it a triple easily.
So now Reyes at third base. And here is Paul Lo Duca. And this is a spot where Lo Duca is at his best as a hitter. He's not a power hitter. Doesn't hit a lot of extra base hits. But he is very, very good at putting the ball in play.
Yeah, definitely he puts the ball in play. And, you know, I watched him yesterday. His thumb is hurting, but he swung the bat very well yesterday.
His left thumb. And he said it's the hazardous duty of being a catcher. He got hit with a foul ball on that left thumb. And even with the big catcher's glove, the thumb got pulled back. So he had not been catching for the last 3 days or so.
Well, the problem is he's going to have to catch eventually once the DH is gone.
And he's catching tonight.
Right, and you're not going to be able to protect your thumb.
Well, I asked him about it before the game. I said, well, you're going to have some extra protection on that thumb tonight. He said they got some kind of plastic reinforcement in there. And he said, should he get hit with a foul ball, it should keep the thumb from getting bent back again. Because that was the problem in the first place.
Actually, a lot of catchers will put a splint kind of thing up their thumb, you know, inside the glove so that will not happen. You know, I remember, you know, watching catchers slide that little splint up there before, you know, as protection beforehand.
Well, he's got one himself tonight. Three and one the count to Lo Duca. 3 runs are in. Up the middle. He gets it done. Past the diving Nick Green. Reyes in to score. It's a 4-run inning for the Mets. The last 3 runs driven in with 2 out base hits.
That was a high fastball, and he just fought it off. Because the pitch was up, he was able to, you know, hit a line drive. Because if he gets the ball down, he probably gets a ground ball out of that. But you'll see it's not a clean swing by Lo Duca, but an excellent swing because he stays on top of the ball.
Ron Guidry, the pitching coach, dispatched by manager Joe Torre, out to the mound to speak with Jarrett Wright.
Now watch, this pitch is going to be up. There it is, up and in the middle of the plate. See him fight it off. This is not, you know, your normal free swing. He just kind of fights it off right there. But he fights it off in the right spot, back through the middle. Nice follow through there as he just pushes it off, and you can see he was off balance a little bit, but gets the job done by going right back through the middle. And we talked about Jarrett Wright not throwing a lot of pitches. Hadn't thrown 100 pitches in any game this year. He's up to 38 already.
And the Yankee bullpen is already working. Runner at first, 4 runs in. Here is Carlos Beltran. Beltran hit a long double his first time up. There is Ron Vallone, the left-hander, up in the Yankee bullpen. Four nothing Mets in the second inning. It started with a single by Cliff Floyd. And we've seen the Mets do it a lot of different ways in this inning. Floyd and Valentin had their 2-man game going with some daring in the base paths. Floyd taking second base on a ball in the dirt that stayed in front of home plate, but he very opportunistically got the bag, and then Valentin knocked him in. Valentin then thrown out at the plate after a double by Franco, but Nady walked in. Reyes hit a 2-run triple, a 2-out triple, and he hit it was a booming triple out there to right center field. Hit the base of the wall. He's got 11 triples, the most in the majors. Two and one the count to Beltran, and Lo Duca just punched one up the middle to knock him in. That's a called strike. 2-2 now to Beltran. Jarrett Wright, a 14-pitch first inning. That's about an average inning. But a high-stress second inning, as Bobby Valentine used to say, the former Mets manager. 2-2 the count. Beltran on that changeup, lunging at it, tapping it foul. Jarrett Wright, the most starts by any pitcher without throwing as many as 100 pitches in a game this year. He has not gone more than 6 innings in any game. He's averaging less than 6 innings per start. 2-2. Left field. That's in there. Base hit. Melky Cabrera grabs it on a hop. And it goes on.
All of a sudden, he's not able to get the ball down. to help finish off the hitter. He's getting the ball up, and when he's up, he's going to get hit. We talked about him throwing more sinkers at the beginning of the ball game, but he is not getting the ball down. See, everything is up. When you get the ball, you're a single ball pitcher, and you get the ball belt high and above, you're going to get hit, and they're hitting him. I mean, that's a beautiful swing right there by Beltran.
7 straight Mets have reached base, and that's going to do it for Jarrett Wright. Joe Torre will go to the bullpen for the left-hander Ron Vallone, trying to keep his club in this game, already down 4-0 in the second. Vallone coming in to face Delgado when we come back.
Honey, remember when you asked me to spice up your food?
Yeah?
A spicy chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Spicy and grilled, so it's good to go.
Whoa, spicy. And grilled, so it's good to go. Good to go?
Good to go.
The new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices with melty, crunchy, cool Taco Bell tastes. Loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled so it's good to go.
He's good to go.
For a spicier way to go, think outside the bun.
My dearest Lisa, as we enter our first day apart, I already miss you terribly. Believe me, honey, it's no picnic out here. But don't you worry about me. Somehow, I'll get through it. And know in your heart, I will see you soon. Though, I just can't say when. Patrick.
You'll find it hard to come back. The 244 horsepower Pilot from Honda.
The old fake punt.
They never work.
Oh, it'll work.
They don't work.
It'll work.
Run the fake punt. It's a bad idea.
No, it's a bad idea. So you let Eddie George go. Get a water.
Think you have what it takes to coach? Introducing the new NFL strategy game. Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Joe Torre did not want to take his starting pitcher out this early. He got another ball game tomorrow night in Cleveland to worry about. But right now he felt he had to make the change as Jarrett Wright was not very sharp.
Watch the target of Posada and you'll see he misses it badly each time, and they're hitting it. See, that pitch is supposed to be away, right back up the middle. Supposed to be inside and down. It's up and away. And when you're missing the target that badly, I mean, you're going to get hit. And he was missing it by a big margin there, and they were hitting line drives. But I think the biggest problem he had was getting the ball down. He could not seem to get the ball down.
So there's Ron Vallone, veteran lefty, and he's been having an outstanding season coming out of the Yankee bullpen. Vallone was one of the pitchers who worked in relief of Mike Messina here Friday night. The bullpen had to work 5 innings in that game, completing a 1-hit shutout in a 2-0 win. And the bullpen had to go 3 more innings yesterday after Randy Johnson got knocked around. They kept Johnson in there even though he was not having a lot of success, so as to not tax the bullpen too much. Now tonight they're going to need more than 7 innings at least out of the bullpen in this game.
Well, the one thing I think Joe Torre is thinking here, John, is that they're going to score some runs off of Soler. So he doesn't want this game to get completely out of the range of being able to catch up, because they're only in the 2nd inning.
4 runs in for the Mets, and Delgado chases that slider. It's sort of the classic left-hander's pitch to a left-handed hitter, and they always love it when they swing at it.
Well, the one thing that Delgado will do is go to left center field and go the other way, but you can see he was completely fooled by that breaking ball.
Duca, the runner at second. Beltran, the runner at first. 2 out. 4 runs in. David Wright would be next. And misses outside. He took that one. 2-1 the count. Delgado, 22 home runs this year. And he has had more RBIs in interleague play than anybody else. So the interleague play must have always been his favorite time of the year with the Toronto Blue Jays. Last year he was a Florida Marlin. 2-1 the count, and that's outside. It is 3-1.
Well, the one thing Joe Torre doesn't want him to do is have to pitch to David Wright with the bases loaded. So even if you have to groove this pitch, you have to throw a strike here. If you're Ron Vallone, you have to throw a strike to Delgado. He's been out a few days, so just hope that he can't square up on it.
Remember, he got that oblique strain that had been bothering him in the right rib cage. 3-1 the count. Well, he missed badly with it. And now he'll have to face right.
Well, that's one of those things where you do a big favor to the Mets to get their RBI guy up with the bases loaded and the left-handed pitcher on the mound.
So with the bases loaded at Yankee Stadium, the starting third baseman for the National League All-Star team comes up with Loduca at third base, Beltran at second, Delgado at first. And David Wright, what a year. Hitting .324, 18 homers, and 66 runs batted in. And he got the high strike.
Well, if you're David Wright, you sit on a pitch, that first pitch, and try to get it in the location you want it, whether it's in or out. You look for it in one spot. And obviously that wasn't the spot that he wanted it in. But you can afford to do that on the first pitch.
The Mets not hitting particularly well as a team in these kind of situations, but have so far in this inning. Well, almost the same pitch. That time hit a pretty good rip.
Yeah, a little higher though. That one a little bit more out of the strike zone.
2 strikes to Wright.
We talked about Wright not getting the ball down. You see the target. That pitch is up on the clear, but this one's even higher, you see. That's why he wasn't able to square it up. That pitch is a little high and out of the strike zone. Even he couldn't have it.
0-2, 2 down, bases loaded. And a changeup. David Wright was just named the National League Player of the Month for the month of June. He hit .328, had 10 homers and 29 RBIs in June. He's the first Mets position player to be named National League Player of the Month in 15 years. Howard Johnson was the last one. 1-2 the count.
And that's why I didn't understand the changeup, the pitch before, John. The 0-2 pitch could have been just a higher fastball just to see if he would chase it.
And that's what they did there on 1-2,
yeah.
and he did.
Yeah, but 0-2 would have been a better time. Let's go up higher. And you can see clearly that ball's up on the strike zone. I'm not sure, because Posada might have been trying to fool him that ball was going to be down, but it was definitely supposed to be a high fastball.
1-2 the count. The bases are loaded. And a cutter inside. That moved him off the plate. Well, Malone's got no margin for error here. The outcome of this game could be hinging on this at bat with David Wright up there. Cliff Floyd, another slugger, albeit a left-handed hitter, on deck.
And Cliff has definitely struggled against left-handed pitching, especially with runners in scoring position.
Loduca, Beltran, Delgado, all with their leads. Down and in. From 0-2, it has gone all the way to 3-2.
It may sound strange, but you're in a situation now where you say to yourself, I can't groove this pitch because walking him and giving up 1 run is better than giving up 4 runs. And I do have Cliff Floyd on deck because they have to know that he hasn't hit well against left-handed pitching and scoring with runners in scoring position as well. So you try to make a great pitcher if you're alone.
Runners go. A changeup just got a piece of it.
Yeah, you can't give him a fastball in the middle of the plate there. So they made the wise choice, try to throw him a changeup and fool him. And even if he'd have walked him, it would have been 1 run. But David Wright has been swinging the bat so well that if you throw a fastball and groove it, it could cost you 4 runs instead of just the 1 run with the base on balls.
This is ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. I'm John Miller with Joe Morgan and Bonnie Bernstein. We're at Yankee Stadium. Final interleague game for 2006. The Yankees and the Mets, the Subway Series, the rubber match of this series. The Mets have scored 4 times in the second, knocking Yankee starter Jarrett Wright out of the box. Bases loaded. All-star David Wright, the hitter. The runners go. And a pop fly. Nick Green, shallow right. He's got it. And Vallone gets it done. But the Mets put 4 on the board. The Yankees have to play catch-up now. Posada coming up.
It is the most elite military academy in the world's most powerful nation.
If you become officers, this is where they're going to put your mistakes.
Few are chosen. Only the best survive. Annapolis. Own it today on DVD.
In an active life, athlete's foot can break your rhythm. Lamisil AT treats it 4 times faster than other leading products, so you get results on the bottom that work their way to the top. Lamisil AT. Go on with the rhythm of life.
Hi, everybody. Trey Wingo here to tell you that mobile ESPN is now available at Sprint stores. Yes, it's true. The new wireless service from ESPN that gives you the most comprehensive sports content on a phone is now even easier to get. Go to mobileespn.com to find a Sprint store near you.
He's no longer in white pants. He's now wearing...
Attention, the Chevy 72-hour sale is now in effect.
It's the Chevy 72-hour sale. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 06 Chevy car, truck, and SUV. Only America's brand celebrates America's holiday like this. Claim your Chevy before someone else does. Hurry, it all ends July 5th.
Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. The Yankees and the Mets. It's Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell. John Miller, Joe Morgan, Bonnie Bernstein here with you. The Mets 4 runs and 7 hits already, all against Jared Wright, who lasted only an inning and 2/3. Ron Malone came on, walked Carlos Delgado, and then finally got... That was a pretty good shot. Bernie Williams, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Curveball, too low.
Well, his curveball has such a big break, John, it seems that it's difficult for him to throw it in the strike zone. That curveball is more of a finishing pitch. If you can get 2 strikes or get ahead of the hitter, you can finish him off because they can't lay off of it with 2 strikes.
And another one.
Well, they can lay off of it because you don't have 2 strikes. You don't have to commit as quickly.
So without 2 strikes, they basically take that pitch away from him.
They take it away because unless he's going to raise his sights and start throwing it in the strike zone.
2-1 the count to Bernie. Bernie been playing a lot more than was the original plan. That curveball.
Well, that was a different one. See, that's what I was going to say. You can steal a strike with a curveball. You know, that's called you just roll that one in. That wasn't a sharp curveball. Because you figure Bernie is looking for a fastball, so you can just roll the curveball in there. That's not the sharp breaking curveball we've seen.
Along the left field line, if it's fair, could be trouble. That ball is caught by Cliff Floyd. He had a long run to get there. As in Yankee Stadium, because of the huge gap in left center, left fielder will play way off the line. So there is one away. Eli Soler from Pinar del Rio, Cuba, and coming with the Mets this year. He's been become a protege of the veteran El Duque. Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, you're exactly right. It's so fortunate for Soler that El Duque came over to the Mets in May because he's been dealing with this huge cultural transition. He's only been in the States about 8 months, and El Duque has been able to talk to him about how they have the same culture, the same training, and he's also been able to school Soler on what it's like to pitch in New York because he's already had success here as a Yankee. As Rick Peterson, the pitching coach, said, they've been attached at the hip, John.
Well, and that's got to be a great help to Eli Soler, have a countryman from Villa Clara in Cuba, Orlando Hernandez, El Duque, simply El Duque. Soler defected from Cuba around Thanksgiving in 2003 to the Dominican Republic. The Mets signed him the following September to a contract. He had a lot of visa issues before he was allowed to enter the United States. 1-2 the count. Right back to Soler. had Phillips swinging to that curveball, and the comebacker out number 2. And now Melky Cabrera will come up. 4-1 Mets in the second inning. Alain Soler made his U.S. debut in the Florida State League with the Port St. Lucie Mets in April of this year. And he, in late May, a little over a month ago, made his major league debut. Alain Soler, A-L-A-Y. And Soler has won 2 ball games for the Mets. I mean, they've had some issues in that staff with 2 of their 5 starting pitchers going down with injuries. And that changeup is too low to Melky Cabrera. But Alain Soler has so far been the best of the solutions that they've tried at the back end of the rotation. 2-0 the count. And I did ask Omar Minaya if he was in the market for a starting pitcher. And he said, well, I mean, if we could find somebody, and the deal was right, that was better than one of the 5 we've got right now, certainly we'd make that deal.
I don't think he's as concerned about making that deal right now, John, as he will be as it gets close to the playoffs. I think you want, there's Omar with the great Ricky Henderson. That's Ricky, and there's Omar. I mean, Omar, you know, when you get closer to the playoffs, that's when you need that extra pitcher. They have a big lead now, and they think they have enough to hold that lead. But to get to the playoffs and get to the next level, you might need one more starting pitcher.
Valentin throws out Melky Cabrera. We head to the 3rd inning. Cliff Floyd coming up to lead off. It is 4-1 Mets.
The off-road technology in the Toyota 4Runner also makes it safer around town, finally bridging the gap between Mountain Man and Valley Girl. Lease 4Runner for $299 a month with 0 down and only $699 due at signing. Toyota, a great way to keep moving forward.
When the Lowe's first joined Dew-Track Community, we were amazed at how little they were.
We're not little, we're low. And we have high expectations.
We thought affording a new car was a tall order.
When we suggested a home equity loan at a really low rate, Larry was all ears.
Low? Low?
It's a loan you can use for anything.
I can buy a skateboard. Oh, and a new family van.
Yeah, new van.
It's awesome to be a member at Dew-Track Community Credit Union. Now that is totally low.
Remember when you asked me to spice up your food?
Yeah.
A spicy chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Spicy and grilled, so it's good to go.
Whoa, spicy and grilled, so it's good to go.
Good to go?
Good to go. The new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices with melty, crunchy, cool Taco Bell tastes. Loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled, so it's good to go.
He's good to go.
For a spicier way to go, think outside the bun.
This is what it's like when you're looking for a car on Autotrader.com. It's the only place you can see almost 3 million cars. The largest selection of cars anywhere. And when you search from a selection this wide, no matter what you're looking for, on Autotrader.com, you'll find exactly the car you want, just like that. So why go anywhere else? Autotrader.com, the smarter place to buy and sell a car.
ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Taco Bell. Brought to you by Refreshingly Smooth Bud Light, always worth it. And Levi's, the original. Find your style at levisstore.com.
Sunday Night Baseball from Yankee Stadium, New York. I'm John Miller with Joe Morgan. Bonnie Bernstein here with us. Cliff Floyd, first ball swinging down the left field line. That one twists back in amongst the spectators, out of play. Floyd started the 4-run second inning rally with a single. Valentin, who singled him home eventually, is on deck. Julio Franco due up third in the inning. There's Jose Valentin on deck against the reliever, Ron Valone. Franco in the hole. 4-1 Mets. You know, things could have turned out a lot worse for the Yankees in that second inning. Remember, Valentin went in standing up at the plate, where a slide might have enabled him to score on that double by Franco. I mean, that turns into a big play, and especially if we end up 4-4 or something like that later on, we'll remember that play. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Cliff Floyd. Curveball. Jeter out, and in behind him, Melky Cabrera. And that is out number 1. This is Valentin on the double by Franco.
Well, they made it. They executed perfectly, and they throw to the plate, and you can see that. Here's Nady here in the watch. He'll give him. Now he's standing there. Now it's too late to tell him to go down. He tells him to go down once, and you can see that Valentin is an easy out, and you see him look over at Nady to say, "Well, what were you doing? Where were you?"
Well, you know, I think looking at that replay from that angle, Joe, I think that maybe when he gave that signal anyway, he was so far away, as you mentioned. But I think the plate umpire, McClellan, was right in front of him at that moment.
Well, the on-deck hitter should be up on the dirt, yelling down, down, down. That lets the guy know he's got to come hard and make a good slide to avoid the catcher.
That's a called strike to Valentin. Now look where the umpire is.
Yeah, but again, he should be up in here on the dirt.
Valentin checking for the relay himself. There's the signal, but the umpire's in his way.
Well, we've seen 2 poor rotations so far in this ball game.
And that last look, perhaps the most telling of the whole thing, after he's called out at the plate, Valentin immediately swivels his head looking at Nady.
Yeah, he wants to know where were you and why wasn't I told to slide. It's like on the basketball court not calling out a pick.
You ever have that happen?
No, I was always looking for the picks.
You were the guy doing the shouting.
Yeah.
1-2 the count to Valentin. A switch hitter now batting right-handed. Valentin for a while with the White Sox, and then when he went to L.A. last year with the Dodgers, things were going so poorly for him from the right side, he gave it up. He became exclusively a left-handed hitter. This year he's hitting .318 in only 22 at-bats from the right side. And down he goes, the high fastball. Looks like Valentin's asking McClellan if he actually swung at a strike there. 2 down.
The first baseman, Julio Franco.
And El Duque between innings on the right in the jacket, and Alay Soler, his Cuban countryman. When Soler came in between innings, he and El Duque conversing. Beltran listening in. Beltran from Puerto Rico.
Well, one of the things that it appeared that the first motion he made was, you know, you're turning the fastball over, let it go. That was the kind of the straight out hand signal. That means you let the fastball go, and you're not doing that. And he's saying early, he looked like he was putting the finger up, like early in the count, let it go.
47-year-old Julio Franco, who ripped that double into the gap in right center field in the 4-run second inning rally. And most other nights he would have picked himself up an RBI, but not tonight. Nick Green, who made the real strong relay throw. Nick Green, one-time Atlanta Brave, and playing tonight. Miguel Cairo's been playing second base. Robinson Cano, the everyday second baseman, is on the disabled list with a hamstring injury. Ooh. Blew that fastball right by him.
Well, so far Valone has been very successful with the high fastball, because I mean every right-hander and even the left-hander has swung right through it. They can't catch up with the high fastball.
And you saw Robinson Cano looking on from the Yankee dugout. He's in uniform. He did what he could, took some batting practice and whatnot before the game. He's hoping to be back right after the All-Star game. He will not be able to play in the All-Star game. And again, right by him. Valone has changed the tone of the game. Nick Green, the top of the order. Damon and Jeter coming up for the Yankees, down 4-1.
Pickup and SUV. Gasoline and E85 ethanol. Hall
and tow. The all-new 2007 Chevy Avalanche, the most flexible vehicle out there.
Give your engine what it wants. Always ask for Pennzoil.
All spring you work to get your lawn thick and green, and then along comes summer and the brown patches. Hi, I'm Ashton Ritchie with the Scotts Company. Don't just blame the summer heat. It's also insects, bugs you can't even see, eating your lawn alive. The solution? Scotts Turf Photo with Summer Guard. It eliminates lawn-damaging insects. Plus, it greens up your lawn with a special summer fertilizer made for even the hottest months. Scotts Turf Photo with Summer Guard. Put it down this weekend for your best summer lawn ever. Guaranteed.
You've got a lot of stuff to paint, but not a lot of time. The new Wagner Power Painter with innovative lock-and-go technology lets you go from staining projects to paint jobs in a snap. The paint cartridges lock in and out fast, so you'll even have time to tackle the really big jobs. Get the new lock-and-go Wagner Power Painter, and you've got it all covered. Wagner, paint fast, paint smart.
Don't bounce all over the place looking for a deal. Just hit Motel6.com, the best place for the best rates. High score. Motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you.
Yankee Stadium, so full of history, so full of great moments, and many commemorated out in what is called Monument Park, in between the two bullpens behind the left center field wall. There's the Babes plaque, one of the all-time great Yankees. And the ultimate compliment in the great history of the Yankees is to have a plaque erected in your memory, in your honor, out there in Monument Park. The Yankees have had many numbers retired. There's a Babe Ruth fan. And of course, Yankee Stadium, one of its nicknames is the house that Ruth built. The Yankees used to share the ballpark with the Giants across the river in Manhattan. George Herman, Babe Ruth. Miller Huggins, who was his manager with the Yankees. And that's when the Yankees got good, when the Babe came over from the Red Sox.
Soler cannot continue to pitch from behind against these hitters. I mean, you just can't pitch that way when you have a lead.
Well,
Green is hitting old 77.
He walks the ninth place hitter to start the inning. Green had 3 hits in 39 at-bats in the big leagues this year.
And you see he's throwing more balls than strikes. I mean, you can't be afraid of contact. I mean, you have to be able to throw strikes. You have to make them put the ball in play. Now you have a runner on. If the guy hits the ball out of the ballpark, you're in trouble.
Johnny Damon, changeup. That's a strike. Nick Green was only hitting .208 in 14 games with Columbus when the Yankees brought him up. He was acquired from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in late May for cash. And he was 3 for 39 with Tampa Bay. And they designated him for assignment. Curved ball in the dirt. A ball and a strike to Johnny Damon. Right now, no Yankees even swinging at the curveball.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, John. He is nibbling so much with his pitches that it appears if you just stand there and take some pitches, he will walk you. He's going to have to change his pattern.
1-1 the count. He misses badly. Another changeup. 2-1.
Well, I mean, what it looks like, you know, there's the old term, afraid of contact. I mean, he's afraid to let them put the ball in play. That's what it appears. When you had a 4-run lead and you got behind one guy and gave up the home run.
Runner goes. The throw down by Loduca. One off the tag. Safe. Nick Green gets his first steal of the year.
Well, this is kind of Joe Torre baseball. He is not going to just wait around. He will try to manufacture runs, try to get a run here and there and get back into play. And you can see clearly he reaches out with his right hand and he makes contact with the bag before He's tagged by Reyes.
3-1. And another, nope, called a strike. The delayed call there by, he got me.
Well,
delayed call by,
he got Damon too. Damon was on his way to first.
K-Zone agreed with Tim McClellan, apparently. I mean, I thought it was a strike myself, but he never gave a call. And
you can't pitch like this.
So that's 3 walks by Soler, including 2 in a row to start the inning. Now all the big guys are coming up. Jeter, Giambi, and A-Rod.
I mean, as I said, if you're afraid of contact, you're just going to pitch yourself into trouble. And it's out comes the pitching coach, because I'm sure he wants to talk to him about, you have to throw strikes. You can't just walk the ballpark and give them a chance.
And I suppose we should also make more of the fact that this is a guy new to this country, Joe. I mean, he's never pitched in Yankee Stadium before. He certainly heard a lot about it. I mean, he may have a few nerves that might be running a little bit out of control right now.
John, I can understand it if it was a 0-0 ball game or something like that. But when they give you 4 runs to work with, that gives you some margin for error. You have to go out and throw strikes, make the other team earn it. You can't walk guys and then try to get hitters out.
Well, he has.
I mean, it doesn't work that way in Cuba.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. I don't care where you're from. It doesn't work that way.
Well, he has put himself into a huge hole. Jeter, the hitter, and ball 1.
Like I said, it appears to me if you just stand there with a bat in your hand at this point, he's afraid of contact.
Green at second, Damon at first. Derek Jeter had an infield hit his first time into the hole at shortstop. That's a base hit down the left field line on a hanging breaking ball. Nick Green is coming around. He'll score. Damon stops at second. So one of those walks has already been turned into a run. 4-2 Mets.
Well, I mean, the other thing you do if you're a good player as Derek Jeter is, you sit there and watch how he's pitching. You know he doesn't want to throw you a fastball. He threw you something off speed the first pitch, so he throws a curveball. Now he hangs the curveball. This is a hanging curveball. I mean, that's a nothing pitch up there. And Jeter's a good hitter, so he rips it down the left field line. And you can see Nick Green, after stealing the base, scores easily.
So here's Jason Giambi. He walked his first time. Nobody out. The Mets' 4-run lead is now a 2-run lead. He starts with the curveball, ball 1.
And like I said at the time, Joe Torre knew that they were going to score some runs off this guy. They knew they were going to have some opportunities. He just didn't want the game to get out of hand when the Mets had taken a 4-0 lead and were threatening to score more.
Inside. And now it is 2 balls and no strikes to Jason Giambi.
Well, he's thrown 15 pitches this inning, 11 balls and 4 strikes.
Giambi, who leads the American League with 24 home runs. And El Duque, a little worried about his protege out there. That curveball. And that missed. 3-0.
Well, you know, he's frustrated on the mound now, and he's looking for a call from the umpire, and he figures that pitch was a strike. But if you're as erratic as he's been out there with the curveball and all your pitches, you're not going to get anything that's edge in the corner in those situations.
And the fastball is a strike.
And I'm surprised that Giambi took that pitch. I'm sure Joe Torre allowed him to swing if he would have wanted to.
2 men on. Damon at second. Jeter at first. Nobody out. A run already in. Alex Rodriguez on deck. Curveball. Bad hop. And Soler did not cover. Everybody's safe. Soler did not go over. He stopped. And it cost him an out.
Well, he also, after they threw him the ball, I thought he had a chance to maybe reach out and touch Giambi, but he didn't. Watch, he'll take off the first base because that's a reaction. You automatically start. Now he, well, as I said, he was afraid of contact, and there you see maybe one of the reasons why.
He came out and took a bow.
Well, we talked about the guys that would have to carry him, Giambi and A-Rod, and A-Rod hits the big fly with the bases loaded there.
Still nobody out, 5 runs in. And Posada change up for a strike.
I have to figure out what they were doing here. They're just, when they didn't have anybody warming up.
Left center field into the big gap. That's going to be extra bases all the way to the 399 side. Floyd digs it out. Posada's got a double.
I'd like to know what the Mets are thinking. Well, right down the middle, he tried to sneak another fastball by A-Rod. He doesn't. And A-Rod hits it in the right center.
And he knew right away.
Well, everybody knew it. I mean, the right fielder, you can see he takes a couple of steps and then just stops.
I mean, that's way back into the bleachers. That's an extraordinary shot for a right-handed hitter. And LaDuca starts shouting at him. Bernie bounces a foul.
Well, I guess LaDuca was upset by the way he flipped the bat when he hit the home run. And he says something to him as he crosses home plate. And he still says something. And A-Rod's, you know, is going to react.
And then Giambi got into it with LaDuca a little bit.
Well, you got to react. I mean, if the guy challenges you, you have to respond. I don't know what LaDuca was saying, but no matter what, you got to respond.
Six to 4, the Yankees lead. We're only in the 3rd inning. Nobody out, a runner at second. And Eli Soler still looking for his first out of the inning. And the Mets bullpen is, for the first time, busy.
But Heath Bell is throwing in the bullpen. As you say, finally.
There's Bell, number 19. Meanwhile, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bernie Williams. Jorge Posada at second base. Bernie is the 7th batter of the inning with nobody out. That's too high. So this may have been what antagonized Paul LaDuca when A-Rod knew right away it was going.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of the game now. That's the nature of the game, John. I mean, guys flip bats. They stand there and watch it. I mean, that's the way the game is played now.
Now he's got Posada hung up. And Reyes just did get him. The Mets did not handle the relay or the rundown very well. But they got him.
Well, here's what A-Rod did when he hit the ball. Well, I don't think that's that bad, personally. He just flipped the bat. I mean, guys do that all the time. They do a lot worse than that. But, you know, it's A-Rod, and I guess that's the whole point. You know, everything A-Rod does is under the microscope, and it just seems that, you know, he's the guy that has to take the brunt of everybody's animosity or whatever when he does something.
Bernie back to the bag at first. So finally an out in the inning, and really a base running mistake by Posada, who was in scoring position. So now they have a runner at first base. The Yankees have taken a lead in this game. That's right along the line. Foul ball. Jerry Davis, the third base umpire. That was awfully close.
I would just wonder, you know, what's going through Willie Randolph's mind that he would leave Soler out there like this. Very close play at third, but the umpire said it did not cross over the bag.
On the count to Andy Phillips, and again back to the bag is Bernie Williams. Yeah, the Mets.
Well, you know, at the start of the inning, John, you could see that Soler didn't want to throw strikes, and he didn't throw strikes.
And now he throws it away. And just when things started getting better, they got worse again.
Well, he turns and fires, and you can see no chance for Franco to catch that.
So 5 runs are in. A runner is at second with 1 out. And Andy Phillips fouls one back. Now, by the way, Pedro Martinez scheduled a pitch tomorrow night for the Mets, but he has already been scratched. They announced just before the game that he will not make that start. And they're thinking that maybe Darren Oliver, who would be one of their normal long men, could make that start if they don't have to use him tonight. And I'm just thinking that could be one of the reasons that they've played into all of this. Phillips is retired, 2 down. Now let's go to Matt Weiner for a SportsCenter 30 and 30 update.
John, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on ESPN, the U.S. Women's Open will conclude with an 18-hole playoff. Annika Sorenstam just missed that birdie putt on 18 that would have won it. Instead, she'll go head-to-head with Pat Hurst. And the world champion White Sox, National League leading Mets, each scored 6 players in the 2006 All-Star teams named tonight. Next, SportsCenter after the game. Constant updates on mobile ESPN. John.
All right, Matt. And here is Melky Cabrera, the 9th hitter of the inning for the Yankees. 5 runs are in. A runner at second. 2 down, 6-4. The Yankees lead the Mets.
John, your explanation was very logical, but I don't buy it, and I don't buy it because you don't worry about tomorrow's game. You have to worry about today's game.
That is going to knock in a run all the way out to the 399 marker again. Bernie scores. Melky with the big turn, and he goes back. 6 runs are in. 7-4 Yankees. And now here comes Willie Randolph. After all of that, he's going to get him anyway.
Well, John, he should have gotten him a long time ago.
I don't know that there's ever been an inning quite like that in a Yankees-Mets game with a young pitcher on the mound.
Well, at some point, John, it becomes an embarrassment to your ball club. You know, and your team is in first place, and you've been playing well. At some point, it becomes an embarrassment.
Heath Bell is coming on. It is now 7-4 Yankees. Alex Rodriguez, the big blow in the inning, an opposite field grand slam. Well up into the bleachers. Second grand slam of the year for A-Rod. Bell coming in. We'll be back.
Before you break out the barbecue and set off the fireworks, go to Lowe's for great values that'll fire up the fun. Right now, receive free propane exchange and free assembly when you buy any full-size gas grill over $99. Get $5 off 1 gallon or $20 off 5 gallons of American Tradition paint. Quickcrete fast-setting concrete is 15% off. Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 12 months on any purchase of $299 or more now through July 9th. Hurry into Lowe's and fire up the fun this 4th of July. Lowe's, let's build something together.
Designed to be truly inspired, it must be more than just artful. It must perform beautifully too. Test drive the 298 horsepower Infiniti G35 sedan at the Infiniti Limited Engagement Summer Event. But don't wait too long. The Infiniti Limited Engagement ends July 31st.
Can I buy you a drink?
Sure. Heineken? Thanks.
Nice. Thanks.
You need one?
Yeah, sure. Man, I love your sister.
Yeah. What?
What?
Well, the Yankees with 6 runs on the board here, and a 6-run inning. It's the 16th time this year that they've had 5 or more runs in an inning. No other team has had that many big innings of that magnitude, and Alain Soler is done for the night. And it was an inning not to remember for Soler, except for all the things that went wrong. Heath Bell comes in for the bullpen now, but only after 6 runs have scored. And that's too high for ball 1.
And everything started, the inning started with a walk to Nick Green.
And then was followed by another walk to Johnny Damon. I would wager a lot of big innings start with a couple of walks or a walk and an error. You start giving things away to a team that's got some power and some guys who can hit, and you're asking for a big inning. Soler, who pitched pretty well when the Mets first brought him up from the minors, but his last 3 starts, look at the ugly numbers there. 7 earned runs tonight. The slider from Bell off the outside to Nick Green.
Anytime a pitcher is afraid of contact, John, he's not going to pitch well. I mean, it's just that simple. And you could see he was nibbling with his curveball, didn't want to throw a fastball. He was trying to throw a lot of changeups, sliders, curveball, anything he could throw other than a fastball. And you just can't do that. He had some margin for error. He had a 4-run lead. Just make him earn it.
Talking with El Duque, and El Duque may be saying those very things.
Well, he was trying to explain to him before on the first pitch early in the count, let your fastball go. I saw that. I mean, by his motion, an inning or so ago. But he went out there and did the exact same thing he was doing before.
Deep into left center field. Beltran goes back. Now he just watches it go. Another home run. Now it's an 8-run inning. 9-4 Yankees.
Well, you pitch from behind. You get guys in position. 3 balls, 1 strike. He knows what's coming. And you throw him a fastball, and he reaches and gets it. And that's what you see.
And now the fans want Nick Green to take a bow. He doffs his batting helmet. That's his first hit as a member of the Yankees. It's only his 4th hit as a member of anybody's team in the big leagues this year. A guy that was cut loose by the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. His 4th hit in 40 at-bats and his first 2 RBIs of the season. So Soler, the final story on Soler shows 8 runs allowed and 7 hits in 1 2/3 innings. Damon sprays it foul.
And John, we talked about the fact that the Yankees had struggled lately to score runs. Well, obviously, this is just what the doctor orders because they're swinging the bats well tonight. Again, you get behind 3-1, you have to give the hitter a fastball, and that's what they do in batting practice, hit fastballs.
Nick Green got a walk to start the inning, stole a base, scored a run. Now he's hit a 2-run home run. Broken back. And there is Valentin. Had to hurry with the speedy Damon running. 11 men bat in the inning. 8 of them score. Alex Rodriguez with his 13th career grand slam. And it was a thing of beauty. And then Nick Green, his first hit as a Yankee, is a booming 2-run homer. 9-4 Yankees going to the 4th inning.
MLB.tv now on ESPN.com. Sign up today.
Can I buy you a drink?
Sure. Heineken?
So...
Thanks.
Nice. Thanks.
You need one?
Yeah, sure. Man, I love your sister. Yeah. What? What?
Your risks can change quickly. Make sure your insurance stays in sync. Travelers.
At DuPont, we've tested and tested to find the best way to protect your car's finish inside and out. The result? DuPont Car Care products, the only ones with Teflon to form a non-stick protective barrier, so dirt and mud have a hard time sticking. Now visit us online for great deals on DuPont Car Care products.
And a wild night already at Yankee Stadium. 9-4 Yankees. Here's the Lowe's home team advantage. And the house that Ruth built opened in 1923. The Babe hit a home run in the very first game ever played here versus his old club, the Red Sox. Cost $2.5 million to build. Then it was remodeled. They played at Shea Stadium for a couple of years while they remodeled Yankee Stadium. Last year they drew more than 4 million fans here for the first time. And they announced tonight that they have already sold more than 4 million tickets for this season. Already sold. 26 times they have won. They've won it all. 39 times they've gone to the World Series. One strike from Vallone to Nady. And now a ball and a strike. So the next question for the Yankees is simply, how long can Vallone go? Right, he's a guy who usually works an inning, maybe two. So there's so much time left in this game in a baseball sense. And now 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mets already had a big inning, a 4-run second inning. And, you know, they should have had more. I mean, you know, in their dugout, they say, hey, we should have had more than the 4.
Well, they needed 9.
Should have had 5 more.
Yeah, they should have had 5 more if they wanted to start the game over.
That's a pop foul back out of play. Now, tomorrow night, as we say, the Mets have a game. And Pedro Martinez was scheduled to be the starter in that game tomorrow night against the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's Darren Oliver. He ordinarily is the long man, but they want him to start that game tomorrow night against the Pirates. Off the fists and the foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pedro Martinez, who in his return to Fenway Park got rocked by the Red Sox, although the fans treated him with a lot of love back in Fenway for the first time. But you know, Pedro apparently that hip problem has come back, and he's going to need a little time off. 1-2 the count to Xavier Nady, who walked his first time. And strike 3. 1 away. Alex Rodriguez with the grand slam tonight. Bonnie Bernstein with more on Alex.
Well, John, that slam gave Alex a reprieve from the Boo-Birds after an absolutely miserable June. 2 guys he's credited with helping get him back on track. Don Mattingly, the Yanks hitting coach, who's been working with Alex the last couple of weeks on his balance at the plate. And also, oddly enough, Lou Piniella, Alex's very first manager in the Bigs, with the Mariners, rather. He was in town doing an appearance at the stadium. Alex ran into him. The two wound up talking for a good hour or so, not just about baseball, but about Lou's experience playing and managing with the Yankees. And what he said to Alex was, don't let anybody get you down. Keep your confidence up. The very next day, Alex went out in extra innings and hit a walk-off homer, and he got that grand slam tonight. So perhaps he is getting back on track, John.
Sweet Lou helps A-Rod here in New York. Lou, he's a television commentator these days, Joe.
Right, exactly. at least for a year, he says.
Jose Reyes, the hitter, he hit a 2-run triple on that 4-run second inning rally. And look at Valone. Speaking about keeping your head up and showing confidence, I mean, Ron Valone so far is putting together one of his best years ever out of the bullpen. He seems to be thriving here in New York, in the big city. Now the count goes to 3-1 to Reyes. He got the win here on Friday against the Mets, coming out of the bullpen in the 2-0 victory. Pitched 2 shutout innings. 3-1 to Jose Reyes, who is lined to center and tripled into right center, knocking in 2. That's over the inside corner. 3-2 now. This is the different Jose Reyes. We didn't used to see many 3-ball counts with Reyes up in the past.
Well, I think he's been swinging it back well. That gives you confidence to be able to take strikes, John. Before, he was, you know, a young kid trying to find his way in the major leagues, and he didn't want to get to 2 strikes. He was trying to make things happen, get a pitch he could hit early in the count.
3-2. And that's going to be back out of play. Ricky Henderson was hired by the Mets. And one of Ricky's projects was Jose Reyes. He worked with him all spring. He's been back in town this weekend with Reyes, and he says what he's seen of Reyes here lately. There's Ricky, one of the great base stealers, one of the great leadoff men of all time.
Right. I think the best leadoff man in the history of the game.
And he was always on base. One of the greatest on-base percentages ever seen in baseball, and that's ball 4. Reyes gets his 30th walk of the season in half a season.
Well, let's take a look at the swing that A-Rod used to hit the grand slam. Now watch, the key is he'll stay back on the ball. He stays behind it. His body and his head doesn't go forward. Look at that. It stays right there. It doesn't go forward, and he just extends out to right center. I mean, the big guys, when they go the other way, they drive the ball the other way. They don't just fight it off the other way. And you can see that he's able to hit the ball out of any part of this ballpark, as long as he stays back and stays behind the ball.
So are you thinking it was just the mere fact that A-Rod hit the grand slam that bugged Loduca more than anything that A-Rod did?
Well, I don't know. I'm a little surprised, like I said, because I've seen guys do a lot worse than that. But whatever it was, I mean, I'm sure Loduca was upset because they had a 4-run lead and all of a sudden it's gone. That was part of it.
So he was upset just in general principle.
Yeah, and then whatever A-Rod did to irritate him even more, it just all came out.
1 ball, no strikes. Hey, maybe you're just saying, hey, congratulations on making the All-Star.
No, I don't think that's what he was saying, though.
1 ball and no strikes to count to Loduca. Maybe you're just saying, hey, let's get together in Pittsburgh and love to sit and chat with you.
Yeah, and I guess that's what A-Rod was saying when he came back. Okay, see, A-Rod, he says let's get together, as you say. Now watch, A-Rod will say, okay, I can deal with that.
Sure, I'll be there.
He said I can deal with that.
Yeah, what time?
Yeah.
Is that a rip at me because I didn't make the All-Star team? Is that it?
Look, hey, Loduca might have been mad at Willie because he didn't take Soler out either. So he might have was just having a bad inning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the last time if you're on the Mets, involved with the Mets, that's the last thing you want to have happen in a game at Yankee Stadium against your crosstown rivals. That's a called strike. But I'm also wondering, Joe, I mean, just for the sake of discussion, I mean, the Mets have an 11.5 game lead in their division.
Yeah, but that you shouldn't be thinking about that before the All-Star break. I mean, this is a halfway point in the season. I mean, if you can build an 11.5 game league in a half of the season, you can lose an 11 game lead in a half of the season.
It's happened. The Yankees came from 14 games back in 1978, and Willie Randolph was there to see it. He knows exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that had anything to do with what happened. It's too early to be looking and putting something into cruise control. I just think it's probably what you explained, and that they wanted to use Darren Oliver tomorrow. But I'm a today kind of guy.
Yeah.
And this is the Yankees. This is not the Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I'm also saying if they were 2 games out of first tonight, Soler would not have been in there to give up 8 runs in the inning. I mean, he would have been out of there real quick.
Well, my point
in my
is,
opinion.
yeah, I agree with you, but my point is, why are we considered, when you take the field, it's not about having an 11-game lead. It's about winning the game that you're playing that day. You know, it's not like that's how you keep your guys pushing for the rest of the season, even when you have a big lead. Every day is the game I'm trying to win. I know I have an 11-game lead after the game. I don't know that when the game starts. I go out and play the game. You play the game to win.
So if you're a player in the Mets, you're unhappy, right?
I agree.
Because of the managing.
Well, you're unhappy. You're unhappy because what
there.
happened that you had a 4-run lead. Now you're 9 runs. Now you're 5 runs down against your arch rival. I mean, that's the point. This is not just another game. You know, we can say it and whatever else, but this is the Mets versus the Yankees. This is a big game for both teams. And this was a chance for the Mets to win the season series.
Well, I'm with you on that. And
but I mean,
I think
I'm saying
the Mets
is
would like to do that.
You can't think about the fact that you have an 11-game lead. You don't think about that before the game.
All right, but I'm going
play the game.
I'm keeping this discussion going a little bit because I'm saying 11.5-game lead. The last thing I want to do is blow out my bullpen one night, and then, you know, the next night the guy gets knocked out early when Pedro can't pitch. So suddenly I'm in a 4 or 5-game losing.
So what you're doing is thinking about tomorrow.
I'm thinking about my 11.5-game lead.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking about the game today.
I'm treating it the way I treat a big lead in a game.
Okay, but I'm thinking about the game today.
I want to keep that other team from having a big inning. That ball is in there. Base hit. Loduca dunks one in along the right field line. Reyes over to second base. Loduca's got his second hit, and here come the Mets. They've got plenty of time to mount a comeback in this game.
And I'm also thinking about the fact I've lost 4 of my last 5 games. I just broke a 4-game losing streak yesterday. And if I keep losing 4 out of 5, that 11-game lead you're talking about is not going to be there.
But because I had the big lead, I'm concerned about blowing out my bullpen and losing another 4 or something in a row.
Okay, well, you're not going to convince me that tomorrow's game is more important than today's game. Yeah. That's all I'm saying to you. You can't convince me that tomorrow against the Pirates is more important than today against the Yankees. That's all I'm going to say.
The Red Sox in '78 had a 10-game lead, but at one time were 14 games ahead of the Yankees. And the Yankees came from 14 games. They were, I think, 3rd place or 4th place. The team that was in second at that time was 10 games out. So suddenly the Mets had this gigantic lead. And we're talking to all of them before the game. They all made the comment that they're just playing it just like you're talking about, that they were playing it the same way they played no matter what the lead was. 1 ball and no strikes to Beltran. 2 men on, 1 man out. And Vallone misses low.
Well, in yesterday's ball game, Traxel gave him 7 innings. Heilman pitched 1, and Wagner pitched the 9th. So,
yeah, Traxel went 6 yesterday.
Oh, 6?
Heilman pitched the 7th and 8th, and Wagner pitched the 9th.
So,
and then on Friday night, El Duque gave him 7.
So where is?
And Duaner Sanchez only pitched 1.
Well, I guess you've overworked that bullpen then that you're talking about.
But they'll be overworked going into their series tomorrow if they blow out the bullpen. They're going to blow it out anyway. That's the joke of it, right?
Well, I guess my question would be, did Joe Torre blow out his bullpen the other day when he took Messina out?
I mean, he had 5 innings on Friday out of his bullpen and 3 more yesterday. And the Yankee bullpen went 8. But now you start, if you're Joe Torre, you're starting to wonder how much more. There's Mike Messina. How much more does Vallone have to offer tonight? As T.J. Beam, a right-hander, starts to warm up in the Yankee bullpen.
But you did win the game on Friday night.
Yeah.
So that's one that you put in the books that you can't take away.
Right.
That's my point. Once you win the game, it's there. Then you worry about the next day. I mean, maybe Darren Oliver will pitch 9 tomorrow.
So you're going to use Joe Torre to make your point.
No, I mean, I'm
fine. All right. Well, that's really
I'm just using the point of...
You're really cheating now.
The game is the game. Today's
Next,
game
you're going to bring
important.
up Sparky, and then Casey Stengel. All right. You win. You win the argument.
Yeah. Well, you just have to... I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of a game. I'm using that cliche.
No.
Take it one game at a time.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take up Willie's argument.
I'm not blaming it all on Willie. I'm just saying the situation. I'm talking about the situation.
But I'm trying to explore. He was thinking of something, right? He didn't fall asleep during that inning. He didn't run back to the clubhouse, and he came out and it was 8 run. How come nobody called me? Right? I mean, he and his pitching coach, they had a reason for doing it. I'm just trying to explore what that reason might have been. Because whatever it was, it didn't work. They ended up going to the bullpen anyway.
Well, I'm going to agree with you there. Okay.
All right.
They did the right thing.
I'm not saying they did the right thing.
I'm going to say they did the right thing. Now,
I think you're dead wrong.
Well, you ask the 8 players that are out there on the field that had a 4-0 lead.
No, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm just trying I'm trying to say what.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explore maybe what they were thinking. That's back out of play by Delgado. I'm John Miller with Joe Morgan. And Joe and I will, if you're in Midtown Manhattan later on tonight after the game, if you can check us out at the bar at the Regency, where we're still having us out about 3 o'clock in the morning. Mets and Yankees Subway Series. Each team has won a game this weekend. Bonnie Bernstein here with us tonight as well. Alex Rodriguez hit a grand slam as part of an 8-run 3rd-inning rally. The Yankees fell behind 4-0 in the second, during which their starter, Jared Wright, was knocked out of the box. Joe Torre made the move to keep the game from getting broken open. That's just off the outside to Delgado. And then Eli Soler, the rookie, was left in there to take a drubbing in the 8-run 3rd inning. I mean, Joe Torre did exactly what Willie Randolph did not do.
Well, look, if the score was 0-0 and you gave him that, okay, but I just can't lose that 4-0 lead personally.
That looks like a win.
Yeah, that looks like you're on your way to a win. I can't give it back.
I mean, that's the key, really.
Yeah, I'd rather
you had the good lead.
If it was 0-0 and you leave a guy in, I understand you're trying to get some innings. But when you have a 4-run lead, I can't give it back without, going to the bullpen.
9-4, the Yankees out front, and now the catcher Posada goes out to talk to his pitcher again, Alex Rodriguez, who Wednesday ended the game against Atlanta with a 2-run homer in the 12th inning. And then tonight, a grand slam. The Yankees were down 6-4 when this one landed way up in the bleachers in the opposite field. And the fans brought him out to take a bow. The Yankees ended up getting 8 runs in that 3rd inning rally and lead 9-4. Delgado, the slugger, and he stays alive here against Vallone. Vallone, who has worked 2 innings in relief of Jared Wright. And remember, when he came in, there were 2 men on, and Delgado was the hitter, and he walked him after a tough at bat, and finally had a battle with Wright, the 3rd baseman, the Mets' leading RBI man, and got out of that jam. But he's back into trouble here in the 4th. He's thrown 28 pitches in this inning alone. This is already a longer outing for Vallone than normally he has. 2-2 to the dangerous Delgado. That one. Green to throw. He got him. Nick Green, we love this guy, they're saying at Yankee Stadium. We never heard of him, but we love him. Jeter coming up.
Oh, these spicy chicken Crunchwrap Supremes are spicy.
Spicy and grilled, so they're good to go.
Spicy and good to go. Have a sip of my soda. Or so tasty, I'm good to go get another one.
Or good to go get a job.
The new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices with melty, crunchy, cool Taco Bell tastes. Loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled so it's good to go. For a spicier way to go, think outside the bun.
Before you break out the barbecue and set off the fireworks, go to Lowe's for great values that'll fire up the fun. Right now, receive free propane exchange and free assembly when you buy any full-size gas grill over $99. Get $5 off 1 gallon or $20 off 5 gallons of American Tradition paint. Quickcrete fast-setting concrete is 15% off. Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 12 months on any purchase of $299 or more now through July 9th. Hurry into Lowe's and fire up the fun this 4th of July. Lowe's, let's build something together.
In an active life, athlete's foot can break your rhythm. Lamisil AT treats it 4 times faster than other leading products, so you get results on the bottom that work their way to the top. Lamisil AT. Go on with the rhythm of life.
You paid for 300 horses. Are you sure you're getting all of them? Choose Q from Quaker State. Q's patented heat-activated formula fights power-robbing friction better than any conventional oil to help maximize power. And let all your horses come out. Q from Quaker State. Unleash all your horses. Get free tickets to Superman Returns with purchase of Q synthetic oil or oil change.
ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Taco Bell. Brought to you by State Farm. Great service and great rates. You can get it all from State Farm. Bridgestone, passion for excellence. And Autotrader.com, the smarter place to buy and sell a car.
Sunday Night Baseball continues now from Yankee Stadium. The Yankees 9, the Mets 4. And Ron Vallone has done exactly what Joe Torre hoped he would do. He kept the Mets from busting it wide open. They had 4 runs on the board already, and Delgado up in the second inning when Vallone came in to keep it from becoming a massacre. He did, and then he also got the big out in the 4th inning. But he may be finished. It's the longest outing he's had all year. He's thrown 54 pitches already. Vallone, we'll see. The Yankees, meanwhile, have some guys up there who could lengthen the lead against Heath Bell. Jeter, the hitter, then Giambi, and then Alex Rodriguez. 9 runs, 8 hits for the Yankees, 4 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Mets. Jeter is 2 for 2 with a run batted in. He knocked in the first run in that 8-run 3rd inning with a single to left field after Soler had walked the first 2 hitters of the inning. Into the upper deck off to the right.
Let's take a look at Derek Jeter's swing when he goes the other way.
They love Alex here.
Well, some of them still do. There were a lot of people that love him.
That's a strike. A-Rod hit a deep fly ball to center. Might not have missed him a home run by much in terms of where he hit it on the bat his first time. It turned into an inning-ending double play. Then the grand slam in the 3rd that put the Yankees ahead. 1 ball and 1 strike. 9-4. The Yankees lead the Mets here. 9 runs, 9 hits for the Yankees. Posada, A-Rod, and Nick Green have hit home runs for New York. Slider off the outside. Elias Soler in 1 2/3 innings got charged with 8 runs and 7 hits. 2 home runs allowed. Over the outside, strike 2. 2-2 to Alex Rodriguez. Jorge Posada is on deck. So A-Rod now with 18 homers for the year and 61 RBIs. The Yankees will not be at the halfway point of their season until after Tuesday's game. And now it's a full count, 3-2. Posada on deck. Heath Bell, big, burly right-hander. Throws hard. Right field, base hit. Giambi to second.
Well, it's interesting. It seems that A-Rod is going to right field with everything tonight. And watch, very similar to the home run, except the home run pitch was more middle in, but pretty much the same swing. I mean, you can see he is making a conscious effort to go the other way.
Posada started the Yankee comeback with a home run that hit off the facing of the upper deck in the second inning. Then he hit a double right after A-Rod's slam in the third, which started the second rally of the inning. The Yankees hitters, Jeter, Giambi, A-Rod, Posada, numbers 2 through 5 in the batting order. 8 hits in 10 at bats tonight. That came back. It's a strike. Jeter 2 for 3 hitting second. Giambi 2 for 2. Alex Rodriguez 2 for 3. Posada 2 for 2. Those 4 hitters, 8 hits and 6 RBIs between the 4. 2 men on, 1 man out. Inside. Two and 1 to Posada. 6 RBIs, 4 runs scored for those 4. And it goes to 3 and 1. Heath Bell was in the minor leagues when the season began. Came up for the Mets briefly in May for 4 days. Went back to Norfolk in the International League. Finally recalled May the 24th. He's been in the big leagues ever since. And he curves him on 3 and 1. 3 and 2. From now on, when Tim McClellan's the umpire,
yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna. You tell me if it's a strike or not.
Well, I knew it was a strike because Posada didn't leave home plate.
And that's going to go back out of play. 3 and 2. Yankees and Mets playing. We didn't get started till after 9 o'clock. About 9:15. We had a rain delay of more than an hour's duration. Sports Center will come up right after the ball game. But this game's not going to be over for a while. We're in the last of the 4th inning. Ball 4. And now the bases are loaded for the Yankees again. Giambi to third, A-Rod to second, Posada to first. I mean, Heath Bell has faced 6 hitters since he came in, and 4 of them have reached base against him. Remember, the first guy he faced was Nick Green, and he hit a home run. So here is the veteran, longtime Yankee favorite, Bernie Williams, with the bases loaded. That one came back over the inside for a called strike. Bernie Williams has hit 11 grand slams. That's 4th in Yankee history. His next one will tie him with the Babe. Bernie, who broke in with the Yankees all the way back in 1991. The third, David Wright, home for 1. Loduca, no chance to double up Bernie.
Nice play there by Wright.
And that ball was scorched.
First baseman,
well, Bernie reaches out and hits this ball hard. Wright was in the right spot because he was able to short hop it. No other play available, but at least they cut down the run from, keeps the runs from scoring. But a nice play by David Wright.
Here's Andy Phillips, bases loaded, 2 down. In right field, that ball is dropped. Nady drops the ball. And 2 runs score. A-Rod and Posada score. Bernie over to third as Nady drops the ball. 11-4 Yankees.
Well, it looked like Nady got there. The ball was slashing away from him. He slows down, and actually it's about chest high when he drops it. You can see he's right there, and it hits off the heel of his glove.
And it is an error all the way. That ball down the right field line by Cabrera and off the top of the wall. Williams scores. Phillips scores. A double for Cabrera. It's a 4-run inning. 13-4 Yankees. And here comes Nick Green again.
See, now you can understand, as they say, as you were saying earlier, Heath Bell has to take one for the team. And you understand that because you're already behind.
Different story versus being ahead.
Being ahead 4-0.
Nick Green. And Nick Green, his home run tonight was his first as a Yankee, but not his first in the big leagues. Green is 27 years old, broke in with Atlanta the year before last. And the curveball is too low. He hit .273 as a role player with Atlanta with 3 home runs. Then last year was traded to the Devil Rays in the deal that sent Jorge Sosa to Atlanta. And he had 5 more home runs last year for the Devil Rays. So this guy's been around a while. And there is Darren Oliver now getting up in the bullpen. Nick Green tonight, he started that 8-run 3rd inning rally with a walk and a steal, and then hit the 2-run homer to cap the rally. And the slider is off the outside. 2-1 the count to Nick Green. He also made a beautiful defensive play to end the Mets' 4th inning on the ground ball by Delgado in the shallow right field. Runner at second. Center field. Beltran. 4 unearned runs. On to the 5th inning. David Wright coming up. 13-4 Yankees.
If. For such a small word, it packs a wallop. If I live to 100, if Social Security isn't enough, if my heart gets broken, if she says yes. We believe if should never hold you back. If should be managed with a plan that builds on what you already have. Together, we can create a personal safety net, a launching pad for all those brilliant ifs in the middle of life. Call on our expertise and get guarantees for the if in life. After all, we're MetLife.
Motel6.com is the only place you need to go to find a great room at a great rate. Olay, 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 olay. The best place for the best rates is Motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you.
Take the Hyundai Challenge during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Test drive the sedan that beats Honda Accord, the new Hyundai Sonata, with more standard safety features and interior space than Accord. The Sonata also offers great fuel mileage. And, like every Hyundai, it comes with America's best warranty. There's never been a better time to save thousands during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Get $2,500 cash back on Sonata, only at your Hyundai dealer. Offer ends July 4th.
9. Boston scores. We're in extra innings.
5th and 2nd, please.
It's 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7. Make up your mind.
Now sports fans can take ESPN wherever they go. Introducing Mobile ESPN, a whole new wireless phone service and a really cool phone.
It wasn't a really great 4th quarter. They scored a record-breaking 37 points in the 4th quarter.
Wow, great quarter.
Whether it's over the right field wall or from way downtown, one touch and you're there. The sports you want anytime, anywhere, in the palm of your hand.
Your fantasy tight end looks good. Well, let me rephrase that.
For as low as $39.99 a month, get 400 minutes. All the good stuff you'd expect from a top national wireless carrier, plus nonstop sports.
What's the matter?
Sports. With you, it's always sports.
Is it true? That's not true.
Mobile ESPN. To switch and get your free phone, call 800-GET-ESPN today.
Now the Mets in the fifth inning trailing 13-4. The Yankees have scored 13 runs in the last 3 innings. This is only the fifth. Here's David Wright, and Ron Vallone, sure enough, is still in there. That was his 55th pitch thrown. And suddenly they got a 9-run lead with which to work. But the Yankees bullpen is a little bit thin, having pitched 8 innings in the first 2 games of the series already. Right center field. That was well hit. That ball is caught by Bernie Williams right at the wall. Bernie had to go to Mose to catch that one. Don't forget now, SportsCenter, after the game, we'll have the debate about the Major League All-Star selections, which occurred today. Baseball's better half. We'll have to tune in to find out what that means. The top 10 plays so far of this year. Derek Jeter. He'll be on the All-Star team. Jeter and Alex Rodriguez both will be starting for the American League. Bernie Williams has got that one off the bat of Cliff Floyd. 2 down. We will be talking with Willie Randolph between innings. So stay tuned here after the Mets have batted. Willie Randolph will join us from the Mets dugout. Now Jose Valentin, who has singled home a run and struck out. T.J. Beam up again in the Yankee bullpen, but Vallone's got things well in hand. He needs a quick inning here, I would imagine. I mean, Vallone has had times in the past where he's pitched a lot more innings than this. He's been a starting pitcher, for example, but that's not what he's been doing this year. This year he's been a 1 or 2 inning guy. And he came in to keep the Mets from blowing it wide open. And Valentin down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit into the corner. Rattles around near the 318 marker. Melky Cabrera digs it out. Valentin has a double, his second hit of the game.
First baseman, Julio Franco.
Julio Franco coming up now. The Mets will have the left side of their infield representing the National League in the All-Star game. David Wright, the third baseman. Jose Reyes, the shortstop. Catcher, Paul Lo Duca. And also Carlos Beltran. So 4 Mets will be starting for the National League in the All-Star game. There's Lo Duca. Jose Reyes, an All-Star starter. Here's Franco's hit a double, and he is struck out. And that's ball 1. A-Rod and Jeter will be starting from the Yankees for the American League. And I thought Mike Messina would make the All-Star team.
I thought Kurt Schilling would make the All-Star team. So Schilling is 10-2, and he's pitched great the entire season. And the Red Sox are in first place.
I mean, Schilling's been the ace on the #1 team in the division. And Messina's been the ace for the Yankees, the #2 team in the East. Ron Vallone is going 3, allowing 2 hits. And that doesn't tell half the story. His longest outing of the year, but I mean, he came in when the Yankees were on the verge of being buried. The Mets had 4 runs in already. 2 men on, and their slugger Delgado at the plate. And he battled Delgado and finally walked him, and finally David Wright came up there and he battled him and got him. He's thrown 62 pitches in this game. There's Ron Vallone. Jarrett Wright, the starting pitcher, lasted only 1 2/3 innings. Torrey yanked him from the game, down by 4, hoping to mount a comeback. Bernie Williams back on this one. John, he can't get it. Off the base of the wall, off the cement. Man, that ball just took off, and in to score is Valentin. A double for Franco. 13-5 Yankees. First run allowed by Malone. Joe Torre is going to go get him. 13-5, the Yankees ahead in the 5th inning. Xavier Nady coming up. We'll be right back.
For design to be truly inspired, it must be more than just artful. It must perform beautifully too. Test drive the 298 horsepower Infiniti G35 sedan at the Infiniti Limited Engagement Summer Event. But don't wait too long. The Infiniti Limited Engagement ends July 31st.
What are you doing? Stop that. What do you mean what? Stop.
Get your bag off of me.
Oh, I am very sorry. I'll buy you a snack box or something. You're doing it again.
Dan! Give me. What is your problem?
Oh, stop.
Keep an eye on yours. The new Caramel Chip Cheesequake Blizzard at Dairy Queen.
Hi, everyone. Matt Weiner back in the studio with this SportsCenter 30 at 30. There will be a playoff at 9 tomorrow morning Eastern time at the U.S. Women's Open. Annika Sorenstam just missed that birdie putt that would have won it. Instead, she'll go head-to-head with Pat Hurst. And the White Sox and Mets each scored 6 players in the 2006 All-Star team named tonight for the July 12th game in Pittsburgh. Next SportsCenter after the game. John, Joe, back to you.
All right. And there is T.J. Beam. Theodore Lester Beam, but goes by T.J. out of the University of Mississippi. And he's pitched his first 5 games in the big leagues this year with the Yankees. Very long legs, this guy.
Well, I think, Joe Torre now is just trying to get some innings. He's got a big lead. He's just trying to get some outs from his bullpen.
Ron Valone, great work for the Yankees tonight. 3+ innings through 63 pitches while he was in there. Kept them from getting buried in the 2nd inning. Gave them a chance to mount a comeback. Who knew that they would mount it so quickly? Here's Xavier Nady, who has walked and struck out. Beam was 6 feet 7 inches tall. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball misses. Beam was a 10th round draft choice of the Yankees 3 years ago in the June draft. Born in Scottsdale, Arizona. Back onto the net. 1 ball, 1 strike. Red Sox won their ball game today. The Red Sox, who began the day with a 4-game lead over the Yankees, had another tight battle with the Florida Marlins and won it 4-3. Papelbon got another save. So the Yankees need a win to keep pace and remain only 4 back of Boston. Toronto lost. The Blue Jays right behind the Yankees. Now 5 games out. The Yankee bullpen has gone deep in this series. 5 innings in a 1-hit shutout victory in relief of Messina, who had a groin injury and did not come back after a rain delay. 3 more innings yesterday back of Randy Johnson, and Malone's given him 3 already tonight out of the bullpen. And they still need at least another 4 1/3 out of the bullpen in this game.
Well, I think what they're really trying to do is get there. I think you'll see Mariano Rivera if they maintain this lead, even though it might not be a save situation, because he pitched Friday.
Did not pitch yesterday, that's right. 2-2 the count to Nady. And that's ball 3. And as great a job as Spallone did for them tonight, I mean, his main accomplishment was keeping them from getting buried in the second inning. But if Nady gets a base hit and knocks Franco in, his final line will not look that great. 3 innings, 2 runs allowed. And really, Franco got that double, but Bernie, I think Bernie should have caught that ball. And Bernie is waiting for this one. 1 run, 2 hits. Now stay tuned. In 60 seconds, we'll chat with Willie Randolph from the Mets dugout. 13-5 Yankees. Back with Willie in 60.
There's an easy way to save even more at Motel 6. Just book online at motel6.com. You can't miss. Motel 6, official lodging partner of the PBA.
In an active life, athlete's foot can break your rhythm. Lamisil AT treats it 4 times faster than other leading products, so you get results on the bottom that work their way to the top. Lamisil AT. Go on with the rhythm of life.
Take the Hyundai Challenge during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Test drive the sedan that beats Honda Accord, the new Hyundai Sonata, with more standard safety features and interior space than Accord. The Sonata also offers great fuel mileage. And, like every Hyundai, it comes with America's best warranty. There's never been a better time to save thousands during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Get $2,500 cash back on Sonata, only at your Hyundai dealer. Offer ends July 4th.
Sunday night baseball from Yankee Stadium. The Yankees and the Mets. The Yankees with a 13-5 lead, and our thanks to Willie Randolph, the Mets manager, for joining us from the Mets dugout.
Nice going. Wait till we're 8 down to call me. That's nice.
Hey, Willie. Hey, Willie. You stayed with Soler a long time, even though you had a 4-0 lead.
Well, you know, I mean, the Grand Slam really would hurt him more than anything, and we thought we can kind of, you know, get him to the 5th inning. We got a little situation tomorrow with our pitching where I was hoping to stay away from Oliver, the other long guys, so we can, you know, start him tomorrow. So it didn't work out that way. It just happened all fast, and you know, before you know, all hell broke loose.
Because I was going to ask you that. I saw Oliver start to throw in that last inning.
Yeah, well, you got to change your plans. You know, we were hoping to stay away from him, but in this situation, we have to use him and just make another decision on another way.
Well, I guess I would have to ask you, you had a 4-0 lead, and you let it slip away. Would you do the same thing over again?
Oh, well, you know, again, like I said, you know, everything happened kind of fast there. Like I said, the big Grand Slam was what put them 4 up real quick. And, you know, sometimes things get away from you real quick, whatever. But, no, I mean, Soler, you know, we don't want to go to our bullpen too early and waste guys. Again, in the American League, it's a little bit different situation, as you know. So we were hoping that we could probably get him to at least 5 innings so we didn't have to tax our bullpen too much.
Well, Willie, we really appreciate you coming on during the ball game, especially your club's down by 8. Many thanks.
Okay, guys. Take care.
Willie Randolph, the manager of the Mets. And again, our sincere appreciation for coming on. And the Yankees now in the last of the 5th inning, facing Heath Bell with a 13-5 lead. Damon, Jeter, and Giambi coming up. And I mean, it's pretty much the reasoning that
you gave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right on.
Yeah. But
with him.
And when I say that we appreciate him coming on, I mean, he could have blown the whole thing off, right?
No, I agree with that. No, I wasn't talking about that part. I'm talking about you surmised that he didn't want to use him, the bullpen, and you know, go to save Darren Oliver for tomorrow.
But I'm tying it in to the added element that they're 11.5 ahead.
Okay.
If they were 1 game behind, I'm thinking maybe they would have done what you're talking about.
Well, that's why I asked him if he had to go over again, would he do the same thing?
There is the play at first, turned in by Valentin, and Damon is now 0 for 3 with a walk. Interleague play. This is wrapping up interleague play for another year, the 10th year of interleague play, and never has it been so heavily slanted toward one league or the other. The National League has taken it on the chin hard. 153-98. The American League has won 55 more of the interleague games than have their American League counterparts, averaging nearly a run per game more. They've swept 17 of the series, including the Mets getting swept by the Red Sox earlier this week.
Well, I would think that would lead you to believe that there are better teams in the American League right now than there is in the National League, and I think that's a truism.
Derek Jeter's got his 3rd hit of the game.
And that's typical Jeter right there. Just kind of fights the ball off the other way, inside outs the ball, and just fights it off. And he does that very, very well. And that's also the reason that he hasn't hit a home run in about 150 at-bats as well. But he's hitting for an average. Now watch how you see how he fights that ball off. He never rolls his top hand out in front. Watch, he doesn't roll his top hand out in front. See, he just kind of pulls his top hand around. And he got that down perfectly.
One out and one on. Giambi takes ball one. Giambi has walked, had an infield single that perhaps could have been called an error, although I have a thought on that as well. And he singled his last time, a clean single. And that is a strike inside. But I think ultimately, Joe, you were right that when he hit the ground ball back in the third inning, it ended up bouncing away from Franco. He was looking to
throw to second base,
field it, and maybe even start a double play going to second base. And he ended up recovering the ball after the boot to make a play at first base, but Elias Soler had stopped going over to first base. And Giambi ended up beating it out. They got nobody out in that inning. That was a pretty big play, too, because it could have been a double play.
It was a big play. It was a big play. There were a lot of big plays. I mean, a lot of big pitches.
Giambi got credit for a hit. I'm thinking the official score decided that because even though he booted the ball, he still could have gotten the runner at first, right? Which would have, had they gotten the runner, that's no error,
right?
And then because it was Soler's fault for not covering, then that's a hit. Last time, now he comes up with 2 men on here in the 5th inning,
and a different reception than he was getting at the beginning of the ball game.
283 average for the season. Deep center field. Beltran looking up. Gone! Off the back wall. Off the wall in front of the old center field bleachers. Spectacular home run for A-Rod. He's driven in 7. 16-5 Yankees. They want A-Rod to take another bow. They're still on their feet. And here he comes. $19 homers for the year now for A-Rod. Here's Posada. He has one tonight. The Yankees have scored 16 runs in the first 5 innings. They've hit 4 home runs. A-Rod's got 2 homers and 7 RBIs in 5.
You know, the real problem, John, is still you have to go back to the 3rd inning. Once that snowball starts rolling down that hill, it's almost impossible to stop. And that's what happened here. Well, it's the exact same pitch that he hit a home run in the grand slam on. Fastball about belt high. Middle of the plate in, only this time he tries to pull it, and he goes straight away.
And not many balls go into the black seats in center field here at Yankee Stadium, and that one almost did. Remember the old configuration here before the remodel, it was 461 feet to straightaway center field, so you had to hit one into the center field bleachers. It's 408 feet to the wall that's out there now, but to that back wall, it's much, much further than that. Bernie, and the backdoor slider misses.
I mean, that was a really good example of those 2 home runs of A-Rod at his best, because one was a little more away from him, and he went to right center field. The other one was right there, and he went straight away. He didn't try to pull it. He's been going the other way pretty much all night. Even the first at bat when he hit into a double play, it was center field. He has not hit a ball, you know, to the left side of the field the whole game.
16-5 Yankees have scored 16 runs in their last 4 at bats, 15 in their last 3 at bats. Reyes from the hole. Got him. Nice play. 3 more runs. Now, in 60 seconds, we'll visit with Joe Torre, the Yankee manager, from the Yankee dugout. Back with Joe Torre in 60.
We always have new and exciting things coming at Goods. Customers tell me, you didn't tell us how big you are. They're always amazed at how we're still making changes, adding on. They always want to know what's the next thing you're going to do, because they come back and something's different. We've added a building, we've got a new line of furniture. There's always something different.
Solid wood, solid value. Visit Kincaid Home Furnishings, just one of the many stores at Goods in Kewanee.
Sometimes sharing isn't easy. At least sharing talk time is, thanks to iWireless. Save big with 50% off your first 3-month service on nationwide shared plans. Plus, get unlimited nights and weekends starting at 5 p.m. and free mobile to mobile. Get up to 5 Nokia phones for a penny. Or choose cool Motorola, Samsung, or Sony Ericsson phones at incredible prices. iWireless. Sharing made easy.
At Yankee Stadium, the Yankees with an 11-run lead as we head to the 6th inning, and we welcome Joe Torre, the Yankee manager, to Sunday Night Baseball from the Yankee dugout. Many thanks, Joe.
Okay, John. Joe, I want to compliment you first on the move you made there in the 3rd inning to keep this ball game close. 2nd inning, I'm sorry, bringing in Valone. But I really want to ask you about A-Rod. This has been a pretty good week for him. Do you see anything different this week other than getting base hits?
He's keeping that front side in, Joe, and you know as well as I do, when you leak on that front side, the bat gets shorter and you start pulling your head out. And, he's got the strength to hit the ball like he did that last time up and the time before, right center field. And it's just, everything that's going on, swirling around him in this town, I know has gotten in his head a little bit because he's so self-conscious about basically how badly he wants to do well.
All right, will we see Mariano Rivera tonight?
I hope not. Let's put it that way.
All right. How is the bullpen? You got 4 innings to go yet.
Yeah, we got 4 innings to go. We're going to try to get Beamer here through another inning, and then you may have Mike Myers there with a couple of left-handers coming up.
All right, Joe, many thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Joe Torre, Yankee manager from the dugout. The Yankees have made a change now. T.J. Beam throws a called strike to leadoff man Jose Reyes. Reyes, Loduca, and Beltran. There is Bubba Crosby now in right field replacing Bernie Williams. 16-5 the Yankees lead. And Reyes, impetuous youth showing through right there, swung at a bad one. 0-2.
John, it was interesting what Joe Torre said, because remember we noticed in the first home run that A-Rod hit how he stayed back and stayed behind the ball. It was beautiful the way he did it, and that's what Joe's talking about. When he stays behind the ball, he's so strong he can just drive the ball out of any part of the ballpark.
A-Rod, for many years, has been one of the great players in the game. And that's it for Reyes. 1 away.
Let's take a look at his first home run, and I think you'll see exactly what I'm talking about and what Joe Torre was talking about. Now watch, there's going to be very little movement as far as his head, his body. Look at this. He stays right behind the ball. Look where he is. He's not out front. He's not leaning out. Everything is right there. Just uses his arms and his upper body's strength to drive the ball out of the ballpark. And that's what we noticed on the first swing, and Joe Torre said he's been doing it all week.
Here's ball 1 to Loduca.
And let's take a look at the second. Very similar pitch. And watch this. It's a very similar pitch. Look at that. Almost identical. There again, just right there. And when you can duplicate those swings, that's what happens.
Back out of play. 1-1 to Loduca, who's had 2 hits tonight and a run batted in.
And I thought it was interesting what Joe said with all the things swirling around him in this town, meaning A-Rod. People did forget that he was an MVP last year. And now with these 7 RBIs, he's got 64 RBIs now. So, I mean, that's not too bad either.
There's Nick Green, and Loduca is going 2 down here in the 6th. And here Joe Torre saying that they were hoping to get this inning out of Beam and maybe Myers after that for a couple of lefties. We got Beltran, the switch hitter, coming up now. And then the lefty Delgado behind him, the righty David Wright, and another lefty Cliff Floyd. So it sounded like he was talking about Myers for the Delgado through Floyd.
Yeah, but I think, maybe miscalculated a little bit because he said he wanted to get 2 innings out of Beam. And if he gets 2 innings, that would take him through those guys.
Well, I thought he was counting the last inning as the 1 inning, and this is the second.
All right. So let's get him. No, you're thinking right along with them. I'm just.
That ball is smoked. Whoa! Man, what a shot by Beltran. That was a connoisseur's home run. A spectacular Ruthian clout in the house that Ruth built.
Yeah, that's true. That is a big fly right there. Alex has hit a couple of home runs tonight. That's a big fly.
Home run derby has started a little early this year.
Well, very similar pitch to what A-Rod was hitting out. About belt high, middle of the plate.
Beltran with his 23rd home run of the year. Man, that was something. 13-6 or 6. I lost 3 runs there in the middle. 16-6 the score now. Delgado, and that retires the side. 16-6 the Yankees lead as we go to the last of the 6th.
It's our birthday, America, and it's time to celebrate at Lou Jack's.
Choose a new Nissan Sentra for $159 a month or a new Nissan Murano $259 a month. Blue Jack Nissan, just south of the North Park Mall in Davenport.
We're having a patriotic Independence Day lovin'. Look out, Bottle Rocket 4th of July savings event. At Furniture Row, it's time to go forth and save. Right now, we're offering no interest for 4 years plus no payments until 2007. That's 4 years with no interest plus no payments until 2007. And our prices are backed by our 200% guaranteed lowest price pledge. This July 4th holiday, the savings are at Furniture Row, where you'll find 4 specialty stores all in one location. Furniture Row Shopping Center, centered around you.
It's our birthday, America, and it's time to celebrate at Lou Jack's.
Celebrate in a new Mazda 6 for $189 a month, or choose a new MPV and save over $6,600 off MSRP. Lou Jack Mazda, just south of the North Park Mall in Davenport.
Sports Center, a bananas home run rally at Wrigley, and why this could be the year the National League wins the All-Star Game, plus the top 10 plays from the first half of 2006. Sports Center after the game.
That's me, Evelyn, and it's my 7th day with Prilosec OTC. Never thought I'd last through race week with my frequent heartburn. But with Prilosec OTC, I'm good to go. Day 2, got the party started. Day 5, met my man Jeff Burton. Today, 200 laps and 0 heartburn. Imagine 0 heartburn for 24 hours with 1 pill a day. That's my Prilosec OTC. It's day 7 for me. What day are you on?
The Blue Collar Boys are back for the last time on stage together with all new material, and this time nothing sacred.
Let her carry her. She's gonna pack all that. I say let her carry her own luggage.
The Blue Collar Comedy Tour, one for the road. Get it today on DVD.
They are awesome!
Yankee Stadium in New York, New York. 16-6, the New York Yankees lead the New York Mets as we go to the last of the 6th inning. And the Mets make a couple of changes. A new pitcher and a new shortstop have come in. There's Chris Woodward now at shortstop, and he replaces Jose Reyes, who will get a little bit of a breather. And also Chad Bradford, the submariner, is on to pitch in relief of Heath Bell. Bradford been having a very nice season for the Mets. And the bullpen was kind of a problem at times last year, and much of the time. And the bullpen, they did much more solid this year. Bradford has been part of the reason for that. The Yankees started off with Andy Phillips against Bradford. And that one at the knees for a called strike. 16 runs, 13 hits for the Yankees. 6 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors for the Mets. Heath Bell gave up 8 runs in 3 1/3 innings. 4 earned runs. Remember the drop fly ball by Xavier Nady in the 4th inning allowed 2 runs to score instead of ending the inning with a catch. And then 2 more runs scored right after that. Melky Cabrera double. There's Woodward, the new shortstop, and there is 1 away. Well, Reyes and Wright with the Mets. They're headed to the All-Star game. Jeter and A-Rod of the Yankees are also heading to the All-Star game. Bonnie Bernstein, you put pretty good talent on the left side of these 2 infielders.
Well, you know, John, we've known about Jeter and Alex for a few years, but now that Wright and Reyes are emerging, there's a little competition on the other side of town. You look at the numbers, pretty comparable except for one category. Yeah, David and Jose are making a little bit less in their paycheck these days. That'll change, though. Wright, though, mature beyond his years. He said, here's the reality. Jeter and A-Rod have MVPs. They have World Series trophies. Jose and I are still young. But then he put the 23-year-old hat on and he laughed and he said, but it's still pretty cool to hear the comparisons.
Well, it is cool. And they have to get used to it because, I mean, these are 2 of the most exciting young players in the game. Wright and Reyes. When Jeter and A-Rod were that age, they were both shortstops. And they were being compared with each other. And with Nomar Garcia-Parra. There's Derek Jeter. And the New York Times had an interesting feature about Jeter at the start of this weekend, Joe, about the fact that, I mean, he's been around a long time now. You know, he still has that youthful look, and he plays with youthful vigor and energy, but I mean, he's become one of the grand old men of the Yankees now.
Well, he's 32. I think he turned 32 earlier this week, didn't he? Or last week.
And this is his 11th full season in the big leagues. He came up in 1995 for a look late that year. But he, for instance, has played in every Yankee Mets interleague game. And that goes back. This is the 10th year of interleague play. He's played in all of them. He's played in the Yankee Mets World Series. And the year that he came to the big leagues for good, the Yankees won the World Series and began a stretch of dominance in the American League. 2-2 the count to Melky Cabrera. He's had 2 doubles and 3 runs batted in tonight. And that's a foul off the left field line. Derek Jeter he's not a guy who gets a whole lot of walks. No, but he gets a whole lot of hits. More than anybody going back to 1998.
It's interesting that list there. Vladimir Guerrero obviously doesn't take a lot of pitches. A-Rod does, and he's still on that list because he gets walked a little bit, you know, quite a few times. But you can't walk the guys that, and if you look at the history of the game, the guys that ended up with 3,000 hits rarely walk. And the guy that has the most, Pete Rose, 41.92, he did not walk very often. So you can't walk and get all those hits. So guys that are aggressive are the ones that get a lot of base hits.
And Ricky Henderson is a notable exception to that.
Exactly.
Rule, yeah. I mean, he just was on base all the time. 3,000 hits. What do you have? 2,500 walks.
Yeah, but Ricky played for 100 years, didn't he? Because he's still playing. I was talking to him today before the ball game, and he said they asked him, I guess, where he played in the independent league to come back and play again, and he's decided that he's had enough.
Do you remember how many steals he had? Well, put that napkin down and we'll see. Yep, 1,406. That's what I thought.
Oh, okay, 1,406. All right.
I'm going to get you a necklace like that.
No, that's okay.
Would you have 689?
Yeah, but I don't need a necklace.
No, no. I've been looking for the perfect gift for you.
No, I don't need a necklace.
Ricky Henderson. But I mean, Ricky had
what's the old saying? Instead of buying me the drink, give me the money. Instead of buying me the diamonds to go around my neck, just give me the money.
Well, there's another saying that may apply to me.
Okay.
In terms of my boast about getting you something. Mm-hmm. Big hat, no cattle. Yeah, it's in the mail. My gift. Look, you know, look for it. 2-1 to Nick Green. 2-1. And off his foot. 2-2 the count. Ricky Henderson, the stolen base king.
And actually, he was my teammate my final year in Oakland. We played together, and I actually got more appreciation for all the other things that Ricky could do. He was an excellent hitter. You know, people think of him just a stolen base guy. He could play defense. He won Gold Gloves. I mean, he was a complete player.
I mean, some of his very best years were right here in New York with the Yankees.
Right.
I mean, where he had the combination. He had 28 home runs. He stole 80 bases. He scored 140 runs. I mean, he walked 100 something. I mean, some years he had here were just otherworldly.
Willie Randolph, they asked him in this interview I saw the other day, the best player he ever played with. And he said, Ricky Henderson. He said he could do everything, just, you know, and he was just exciting to watch and whatever. So it was kind of interesting.
Hit more home runs leading off the game than anybody in history. And he admitted, you know, he went up there and he was thinking home run, maybe his first swing of the day. And that's too low. It's ball 4. It's Nick Green, who's been on base 3 times, including a home run. It's really his first real game as a Yankee tonight. He got in briefly in one game. It's the witching hour here in New York. I'm John Miller with Joe Morgan and Bonnie Bernstein. The Yankees and the Mets in a very interesting ball game that did not start until more than an hour after it was scheduled to begin because of a rain delay. The Mets jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the second inning, and Joe Torre made a move. The Mets had 2 men on, 4 runs in. Carlos Delgado coming up, their slugger. And Torre took out his starting pitcher, even though his bullpen was already thin, having worked 8 innings in the first 2 games. By the way, this is Kevin Reese now pinch hitting for Johnny Damon in the last of the 6th inning, and Kevin Reese whacks a base hit to right field. Nick Green's heading around to third.
This is Bradford's delivery. As you can see, drops down and almost touches the ground, but it doesn't bother a left-handed hitter nearly as much as it does a right-handed hitter. And Reese rips it to right field for a base hit.
So Nick Green around to third, and here is Derek Jeter, who's had 3 singles tonight, a run batted in, 2 runs scored. There's Green over third. And that's inside. But Joe Torre made that move to keep the Mets from burying the Yankees. And it paid off. Vallone got out of the jam. Vallone's been one of his best relievers.
And I think Joe knew that they were going to score some runs off Soler because he could see that, you know, as I said at the time, you know, he was afraid of contact. He didn't want to let them swing the bat.
But in the 3rd inning, Willie Randolph had a chance to make a similar move, and he did not make it. And as he told you, Joe, between innings back in the 5th, it was with an eye toward tomorrow.
Yeah.
He was hoping to get 5 innings out of Soler, and he did not deviate from that plan until it was too late. They had 6 runs home in that 3rd inning and a 3-run lead before he got Soler out of there. Derek Jeter grounds out. 2 men stranded. On to the 7th inning. David Wright, the great young Mets third baseman, coming up.
Honey, remember when you asked me to spice up your food?
Yeah?
A spicy chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Spicy and grilled, so it's good to go.
Whoa, spicy and grilled, so it's good to go.
Good to go?
Good to go.
The new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices with melty, crunchy, cool Taco Bell tastes. Loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled, so it's good to go.
He's good to go.
For a spicier way to go, think outside the bun.
Life comes at you fast. Invest wisely. Invest with Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side. Attention.
Attention, the Chevy 72-hour sale is now in effect.
It's the Chevy 72-hour sale. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 06 Chevy car, truck, and SUV. Only America's brand celebrates America's holiday like this. Claim your Chevy before someone else does. Hurry, it all ends July 5th.
I am sitting on top of the world, just rolling along. Just rolling along. Go get him, Billy.
The 2006 All-Star Game, July 11th, live from Pittsburgh.
Yankees lead the Mets 16-6 as we head to the 7th inning. David Wright coming up, and David Wright continues to improve as a player, and he told us about it and how Carlos Delgado has helped that progress.
I think consistency is the biggest thing that feels like I'm able to make the adjustments a little quicker. And I think a lot of that comes from learning from Carlos Delgado. He seems to turn on a switch when it's an RBI situation, when it's a big run-producing situation. He's able to turn on a switch. And, I've learned a lot from him mentally, hitting with runners in scoring position. And like I said, the consistency, I think that's huge over the course of 162 games to not get too high when you're doing well, not get too low when you're struggling, try to maintain that mean.
Sounds like a veteran, doesn't it? Yeah. Because, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to learn from the other guys around you, and then you have to be able to put those things into motion.
Facing T.J. Beam here. David Wright tonight is 0 for 3 in this game. Made 2 outs in that second inning. It was the first out of the inning and the final out of the inning. And everything's going downhill for the Mets ever since he made the final out of that second inning. Leaving the bases loaded. They had scored 4 runs already in the second. That's a base hit to right field. And the new right fielder for the Yankees, Kevin Reese, picks it up, gets it back in. Wright will hold it first. And here comes Joe Torre. The lefty Cliff Floyd is coming up. Bubba Crosby moved from right field over to center field. So Johnny Damon, who was already out of the game when Reese pinch hit for him. So Mike Myers, the left-handed specialist, is coming in here in the 7th. The Yankees lead 16-6. A runner at first. Myers to face Cliff Floyd.
He's no longer in white pants. He's now wearing...
You paid for 300 horses. Are you sure you're getting all of them? Choose Q from Quaker State. Q's patented heat-activated formula fights power-robbing friction better than any conventional oil to help maximize power. And let all your horses come out. Q from Quaker State. Unleash all your horses. Get free tickets to Superman Returns with purchase of Q synthetic oil or oil change.
Have you ever wanted to develop your artistic abilities? If so, you may already have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. To find out, simply call toll-free, and Art Instruction Schools will send you this enjoyable art test. Since 1914, we've helped thousands of aspiring artists become more skilled, more confident, and more creative in their art. Call today for your free art test. We'll help you become a better artist. Call 1-800-633-3400.
The New York Yankees 16, the New York Mets 6, top of the 7th, and there's the lefty specialist, Mike Myers. A lot of teams have a guy just to nullify the big left-handed slugger in their division, so Myers is sort of the David Ortiz guy.
Yeah.
At one time, he was the Barry Bonds guy in the National League West. He's been the guy in various divisions. He's been around a long time. He's got the kind of the funky delivery. And there's a lot of other guys who sort of adapted a similar style, Joe, and I think I attribute it all to Mike Myers.
Well, I mean, he's similar to Bradford on the other side. Yeah. Bradford's right-handed, of course, Myers being left-handed, but they have a similar motion.
But Bradford can get some lefties out.
Yeah, that's true.
Myers, he generally is in to face the one guy.
Yeah.
0-1 to Cliff Floyd. He has had a hard time with lefties anyway.
Yeah, we mentioned it. I mean, he's 0 for 24 with runners, especially with runners in scoring position. I mean, he has been just struggling.
0 for his last 24 against lefties, as you saw there. 2 for 31 against lefties for the season. That was before tonight. And he was 0 for 2 against Valone, a lefty, tonight. That's not a very big sample.
No.
I mean, Cliff Floyd hit a lot of lefties last year when he hit 34 home runs. 2-1 the count to Cliff Floyd. He's had 1 hit tonight. His single back in the second started the 4-run rally against Jarrett Wright, a right-hander.
Ooh. Well, he had a pitch to hit there. He hung that breaking ball up inside, and he just did not get to it.
For a moment, it looked like Jeter and A-Rod both called for that one.
Well, Jeter's the captain, isn't he?
So the captain took it.
Yeah.
And A-Rod got out of his way.
Second baseman. Watch where this pitch is. I mean, this is, if you want a pitch to hit, that's the one. And he just doesn't hit it. See there, right there where he would like it. And you see A-Rod calling it, and Jeter says, I got it.
So the shortstop like the center fielder on that play, or what?
Well, or the captain is the captain. Either way you want to look at it.
All right. So if you're the captain, you get to catch any pop-up that you can get to.
Handle.
All right. I didn't know that.
A-Rod probably didn't know it till he got to New York.
Jose Valentin, the hitter, he's had an RBI single. He struck out, and he's doubled. 2 for 3 tonight. Switch hitter. And that is a strike.
In the beginning of the ballgame, we talked about the fact that A-Rod and Giambi are the ones that have to, put this team on their shoulders and can carry it for stretches at a time. We obviously were not intimating that A-Rod should have to drive in 7 runs every day, but those are the guys that produce the runs for the team. They're the big RBI men.
That's it for Valentin. 2 down, and Julio Franco, the right-handed hitter, will come up.
So far tonight, they've done a great job. Giambi's been on base all 4 times. A-Rod, of course, has hit 2 home runs, driven in 7 runs. There you see Proctor warming up in the bullpen. So maybe Myers is just going to pitch 1 inning. See, Joe act like he said he didn't want to use Mariano, but I think that that's always been in his plan.
Yeah. But I mean, if he can get away with not using it.
Right. But I don't know how you can do it.
Into center field. That is Bubba Crosby, and he's got it. 1 hit, 1 left. Giambi, A-Rod, Posada due up. Yankees 16, Mets 6.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a good play. Good play, Carl.
You know, I drafted him, plucked him like a diamond from the rough. Flea flicker. Oh no, that's flea ticker.
Down here, I need a headset.
Hey, coach. Yeah. That was uncomfortable.
Think you have what it takes to coach? Introducing the new NFL strategy game, NFL Head Coach. Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
In white pants. He's now wearing.
Give your engine what it wants. Always ask for Pennzoil.
I was thinking,
Yeah?
you know, sometimes you find something so special and you just want to hold on to it. Beautiful on the outside, sure, but even more beautiful on the inside. And you just want to lock it up forever.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yeah. These can liners really lock in that Rocky Mountain taste. Hey, while you're up, grab me a beer.
Every Coors Light can has a specially designed liner to lock in that frost-brewed Rocky Mountain taste.
Sweet.
Coors Light. Taste the cold.
In an active life, athlete's foot can break your rhythm. Lamisil AT treats it 4 times faster than other leading products, so you get results on the bottom that work their way to the top. Lamisil AT. Go on with the rhythm of life.
喝吗？很快，不够快。
On July 21st, the greatest debate of the 21st century will finally be resolved.
There's only one return, and it ain't of the king, it's of the Jedi.
I'm gonna kick your butt back to the Shire if you don't shut your mouth.
When you two aren't fighting about who shot first, Han or Greedo.
Star Wars geek.
Clerks 2.
Say what you will about Jesus, but leave the rings out of this.
I thought Sam was gonna saunter over to Frodo.
Hey, they're not gay. They're hobbits.
Rated R. Everywhere July 21st.
Yankees 16, Mets 6, last of the 7th inning. I'm John Miller with Joe Morgan, Bonnie Bernstein. And Bonnie, the Yankees have had their fair share, and probably more than their fair share, of serious injury problems this year.
Well, 16 runs, John, is their second highest tally of the year. They've been lackluster at the plate at times this year, in part because they've been missing 2 of their big gun outfielders, in Hideki Matsui and Gary Sheffield. Both of them been down for a good chunk of the year with wrist injuries. Spoke with GM Brian Cashman today. He's looking for both of them to be back around late August, early September. We saw Matsui hanging around the ballpark yesterday. He and Sheffield both been working out. When you look at the fact that they've accounted together 57 homers and almost 240 RBIs compiled last year, they get those guys back in the lineup and it's going to be pretty hot at the plate.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see how they'll do, because how will they do after missing all of that time? They're going to maybe have to go out on a rehab assignment and get their strokes back first and whatnot. So that will be teams are always looking for reinforcements for the stretch run and for a possible drive to the postseason and for the postseason. And the Yankees will get 2 top sluggers perhaps back in early September without having to make a trade. This is Pedro Feliciano now pitching for the Mets, facing Giambi.
Well, the question is, will they be, what shape will they be in by the time you get to September? Because the Red Sox are playing well. Detroit and Chicago are playing well. So one of those 2 teams have the edge as far as the wild card. So you're going to have to catch Boston.
That's Eli Marrero replacing David Wright, the third baseman. Marrero starts off playing shortstop with the shift on for Giambi, who's had 2 walks and 2 singles tonight. He leads the American League with 24 home runs. Lefty versus lefty. That fastball just misses inside. And it is 3-1. You see the shift they've got on. It's Valentin out in shallow right field, the second baseman. But when you say what shape they'll be in, you mean what shape the Yankees will be in the pennant race.
Correct.
I mean, they might be 10 games out or something by that time. 3-2 the count. Or maybe they'll have a lead by then. Who knows? Matsui was out playing long toss before the game tonight. And he can't catch the ball. He can't play catch and catch the ball. They would roll it back to him, but he would throw long, like outfielders kinds of throws. And Giambi, he is gone. Retired for the first time tonight. Matsui injured himself trying to make a tremendous diving catch and broke his left wrist earlier this year. Alex Rodriguez, 2 homers, 7 runs batted in as he comes to the plate. By the way, A-Rod, talking about setting the bar high for yourself, he's not really even close to his all-time career record. He was 7 RBIs. His career best, he had a 10 RBI game. last year against the Angels. That's a pretty good game.
This is a pretty good game.
And now they got the A-Rod cheer going on.
Well, that's the reception that a two-time MVP should get.
Yeah. Marrero. And tagged out by Franco. A-Rod retired for the second time in the third inning. His club down by 2 runs. He hit a grand slam the opposite way.
Well, that was the first sign to me that he was going to be right on the ball tonight because he stayed behind the ball. And then he gets a similar pitch in the 5th inning, and he goes just straight away center field, and then he singled to right. I mean, he has been swinging the bat well the entire ball game, and he stayed behind the ball, and I think that's the key to his swing.
He's had 2 curtain calls in the same game. Jorge Posada, he knocked in the Yankees' first run tonight with a home run off the facing of the upper deck after they had fallen behind 4-0 in the second inning. He led off the last of the second against Eli Soler with a home run. He also doubled in the third inning, an inning which saw the Yankees get 8 runs. And Posada walked in the 4-run fourth inning. They backed up their 8-run third with 4 in the fourth, and they backed up the 4-run fourth with 3 in the 5th. They lead 16-6. The 16 runs, by the way, is the most that either team has scored against the other in any of these interleague games the last 10 years. And there is Eli Soler, the Cuban emigre who started the ball game for the Mets tonight. You know, I go back to Omar Minaya telling me before the game, Joe, in terms of making a trade for a pitcher. He said, well, you know, he says, if it's a guy that's better than what we've got in our first 5, and you look at this game tonight, and plus the last 2 games Soler has got knocked around, he might start thinking that maybe a couple of guys who are available might be better. And that's up and away. So Posada draws the walk from Feliciano.
The center fielder.
Now Bubba Crosby will come in. Soler, 8 runs, 7 hits allowed in 2 2/3 innings. Jarrett Wright lasted only 1 2/3 innings. And there's the rub, because it was Joe Torre took Wright out of the game when he was down 4-0 to maybe keep it from being 5, 6, 7, or who knows how many. But Soler was kept in there, even though immediately in trouble in that third inning, walking the first 2 hitters. He walked the 9th place hitter, then the leadoff hitter, with nobody out, and then the big guys are coming up. It looked like a big inning in the making, and it ended up real big. Nady and Crosby is retired. 1 man left. 8th inning now. Nady coming up. It's 16-6. The Yankees lead.
This month, things are heating up during Toyota's 5th annual Hot Choice event. Choose your best deal on your favorite Toyota in stock. Now with 3 sizzling ways to save. Get financing as low as 0% on select models. Smoking low lease rates. Or take up to $2,000 cash at this scorching once-a-year event. There's never been a hotter time to take home a Toyota. Hot Choices at your Toyota dealer absolutely and July 10th.
Item 1, Lucky Times 10 from the Iowa Lottery. Each ticket gives you 10 chances to win.
Oh, but that's 10 times the work.
You can multiply your prize up to 10 times.
I hate math.
Top prize is $100,000.
Where would I keep all that money?
Stay away from Lucky Times 10. Item 2, the Fountain of Youth, and how to avoid it.
Woohoo!
And pick up an Iowa Great Places ticket.
The Audi Q7, the
the SUV from the creator of Quattro.
You've seen how they play.
Oh! Albert!
Now see how they live.
Let's go inside.
With AT&T Home Turf, visit seehowtheylive.com for exclusive access into your favorite players' worlds.
Oh. Check it. The new caramel chip cheesecake blizzard at Dairy Queen. Rich chunks of cheesecake, smooth caramel, and luscious chocolate chips. Sorry.
MLB.tv now on ESPN.com. Sign up today.
ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball is presented by the new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme at Taco Bell. It's good to go. And in part by Chevy, baseball's #1 fan. Chevy, an American revolution. And Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side.
Ball 1 to Xavier Nady, leading it off for the Mets here in the 8th inning against Mike Myers. And that's a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mike Myers, truly a specialist. Before tonight, in 10 of his previous 11 appearances, he came in only to face 1 hitter. 10 times in his last 11 games. But tonight he faced the last 3 hitters of the 7th and got them all out. Now faces a 4th hitter. This is like Mike Myers' version of long relief. This is almost like a week's worth of work for him, facing 4 guys. Myers in his 31st game. In his previous 30 games, Joe, he pitched 13 1/3 innings. But his ERA 0.68. 2-2 the count. He's thrown 11 pitches tonight already. He must be exhausted. Nady into center field. Bubba Crosby with a routine play on this one. 1 gone. Let's go back. In the 8th inning Thursday, the Red Sox are playing the Mets. A tight, tense ball game. Look at this catch by Coco Crisp. Whoa, man. David Wright hit that one.
I was watching that ball game, and it looked like the game was going to be at least tied on that swing by Wright, but a great catch by Coco.
How about this one today? Gary Matthews.
Well, that's yesterday. It was the greatest catch I've ever seen, considering the wall is there. And look how far he goes over the wall. The ball wasn't just barely over the wall. It was well over the wall, and he leaped very high to get it.
Gary Matthews. I mean, that was really an unbelievable catch.
I mean, the degree of difficulty with the wall being there and everything else. Now watch this. I mean, that is just, and he catches, look at that. I mean, the ball is way over the wall, not just barely. That's the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Ever?
Ever. Counting the degree of difficulty, everything involved.
I mean, his body
the wall was
completely
there.
around.
Yeah, the ball is there. The wall is there, and he's got to time his leap perfectly. I mean, it was just unbelievable. There were so many things he had to do correctly here. See, he's got to get to the wall. Now he's got to time his leap. Just look at that. Has to be perfect. And look how high he is. I mean, he could have blocked Shaq's shot right there. Or maybe I should say Dwayne Wade, he could have blocked.
He made Michael Jordan look like he couldn't jump. Wow, what a leaper.
Yeah, that was, I mean, honest, that's the greatest catch I've ever seen. You know, when you combine everything, the degree of difficulty, the wall being there, everything else, it was just, that's unbelievable.
Now, did you see Raul Ibanez catch last night?
No, I didn't see that one.
I keep saying last night as if it's still Sunday. Woodward is retired, and that is out number 2. It was pretty good, too, in Seattle. Let's take a look at our passion for excellence presented by Bridgestone Tires. The Yankees having a most excellent evening around the majors. The Red Sox, talking about defense and Coco Crisp's play, Red Sox had 17 consecutive errorless games. I mean, they almost never make an error. Francisco Liriano, last 4 starts, 4-0. 6 earned runs in 30 innings pitched, and that's not much better than all the rest of his starts.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 8-1 since he joined the rotation from the bullpen. He got another win today. 8 shutout innings, 12 strikeouts, 1 walk. And you saw him beat Roger Clemens.
Yeah, I mean, that night he had Houston Astros look like, I mean, they just had no chance of handling him till he got way ahead in the ball game, and he threw a couple of fastballs that got hit.
Well, that's one of his worst games.
Yeah.
Gave up 2 runs in that game.
But he was great up until like the 7th inning. I mean, by that time he had a big lead.
This is Loduca, who's had 2 hits tonight and a run batted in. Francisco Liriano. The Twins are 20-2, and they can't gain any ground on Detroit, it seems like.
Yeah.
20-2 in their last 22 games. And you go in to face them, you got to face Johan Santana, Francisco Liriano. Brad Radke seems to have straightened himself out now. And a young guy also who's pitched well for them, Booth Bonser. Have you seen Booth pitch yet?
No, I haven't seen him, but I know Silva on a given day can shut anybody down as well.
They got Rincon late in games, Nathan to close. I mean, they're beating up on everybody. Since June the 8th, the Tigers 18-4, the White Sox 17-5, the Twins 19. Well, now it's 20-2 for the Twins in that stretch. There and making the play, Nick Green, who's had the big night. He'll be one of the hitters due up in the last of the 8 for the Yankees. 16-6, the Yankees lead the match.
It's our birthday, America, and it's time to celebrate at Lou Jack.
Choose a new Nissan Sentra for $159 a month or a new Nissan Murano, $259 a month. Blue Jack Nissan, just south of the North Park Mall in Davenport.
When they first came in, I thought, whoa.
Actually, the name is Low. Larry Low.
Oh, they are so little.
Oh, we're not little. We are low.
Larry, Luke, and Lula all wanted to become members. They wanted low risk, low rates, and the low down on fees.
Oh, we may be the lows, but we have high expectations.
As members, we get free checking, 1% off transferred loans, and really low rates. And Mom can do everything online. And it's only a 2-track community credit union. Now that is totally low.
It's our birthday, America, and it's time to celebrate at Lou Jack.
Celebrate in a new Mazda 6 for $189 a month, or choose a new MPV and save over $6,600 off MSRP. Lou Jack Mazda, just south of the North Park Mall in Davenport.
I am sitting on top of the world, just rolling along, just rolling along. Go get him, Billy.
The 2006 All-Star Game, July 11th, live from Pittsburgh.
I'm Matt Weiner with the Sports Center 30 at 30 update. The U.S. Women's Open will come down to an 18-hole playoff. Annika Sorenstam could have won it if that putt had dropped. It did not. She'll go head-to-head with Pat Hurst at 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Meanwhile, the White Sox and Mets each scored 6 All-Stars in the teams named tonight. Next Sports Center after the game. Constant updates on mobile ESPN. John and Joe.
All right, thanks, Matt. And here we are at Yankee Stadium, where the Yankees are, I think they're looking pretty strong to take this series 2 out of 3 and end up even in the season series. The Mets with a win tonight would have taken the season series 4 out of 6. Feliciano diving at third is Marrero, and pulled out of the dirt by Franco at first to retire Andy Phillips. Nice play there by Marrero. Fans, are you ready for the 2006 Major League Baseball All-Star Game? Tune in for all the action live from Pittsburgh on Tuesday, July the 11th at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Major League Baseball's Midsummer Classic, the All-Star Game. A-Rod will be there. And he had an All-Star night tonight. 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. Carlos Beltran will be there. One of 4 Mets starters for the National League. Ball 1 to Melky Cabrera. Loduca will be starting. David Wright and Jose Reyes, the third baseman and shortstop combination for the Mets, respectively, will also be starting. And that's it for Melky Cabrera, who had 2 doubles and 3 batted in those 2 big innings in the 3rd and 4th. National League starters, Loduca behind the plate, Albert Pujols. How about Albert? He had 3 hits and 4 RBIs, a home run today. He got 27 homers, 72 batted in, and he's missed 17 games.
Well, it just shows how good he is.
Chase Utley at second to the Phillies. David Wright, Jose Reyes. The Pirates' Jason Bay will start in his home park in the All-Star game with Beltran and Alfonso Soriano of the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, I would think, I'm not sure if Pujols started last year or Derek Lee, but other than that, I mean, everyone on that is new. They're new as far as starters for the National League.
It's really a new look in the outfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the National League. No Griffey, no Bonds.
Right.
Meanwhile, the American League All-Stars, Pudge Rodriguez of the Tigers, David Ortiz and Mark Loretta having an outstanding first half. A-Rod and Jeter on the left side of the infield. So it'll be a Red Sox-Yankees infield starting for the American League in the All-Star game. Two and one the count to Nick Green. And that is the inning. On to the ninth inning. Beltran, Delgado, the first two due up for the Mets. They're trailing by 10 runs.
Every day, Progressive does something that's, well...
You've seen this commercial. You've seen 1,000 car insurance commercials. You know you can save, but you haven't yet. It's on your to-do list. It's not the most exciting thing on your to-do list. Right now, call or click to compare Progressive Direct against their competitors. And next time you see a car insurance commercial, you'll feel good.
When searching for a poker game in this urban jungle of ours, it's important to learn about the predators lurking around the soft felt of the poker table. He'll strike in erratic patterns when you least expect it, but that'll be a mistake. Avoid the deadliest poker predators by learning to play poker online at Bodog.net with Calvin Ayre and be the king of your jungle. Bodog.net. Learn easy, play hard.
Honey, remember when you asked me to spice up your food?
Yeah?
A spicy chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Spicy and grilled, so it's good to go.
Whoa, spicy. And grilled, so it's good to go. Good to go?
Good to go.
The new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices with melty, crunchy, cool Taco Bell tastes. Loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled, so it's good to go.
He's good to go.
For a spicier way to go, think outside the bun.
I was thinking, you know, sometimes you find something so special and you just want to hold on to it. Beautiful on the outside, sure, but even more beautiful on the inside, and you just want to lock it up forever.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yeah. These can liners really lock in that Rocky Mountain taste.
Hey, while you're up, grab me a beer.
Every Coors Light can has a specially designed liner to lock in that frost-brewed Rocky Mountain taste.
Sweetie?
Coors Light. Taste the cold.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
It's been A-Rod's night as he has led the comeback for the Yankees, and finally the comeback and the destruction of the Mets in this ball game. They were down 4-2 when he hit his grand slam in the third, and finally when he hit his 3-run homer in the 5th inning, that brought in runs 14, 15, and 16, and A-Rod drove in nearly half of them. 7 RBIs for Alex Rodriguez on a day when we learned officially he's in the All-Star game. Here's Beltran deep into right against Proctor, the new pitcher. Home run. Beltran's second home run of the night.
Well, he showed us a couple of years ago what can happen when he gets hot and he gets on one of those streaks, and that's the streak that the Mets have been looking for since they signed him last year, and he is having a fabulous season. It's his 4th hit of the night as well, John.
2 homers, a single, a double. 24 homers.